That shit was gonna bother the hell out of me.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever the fuck you're watching this. This is the Blitz, brought to you by Backyard Sports. We have a familiar yet kind of unfamiliar face with us. He's been doing a lot of coaching, and we've missed him the last, I think, about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's been a little while. Flint, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. What's going on? Appreciate you holding down the fort.
Good to have you back.
Good to have you back.
My hiatus.
Good to see you, bud. Stove, how you doing?
Doing good, bud. Doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. What a fucking weekend. I'm still coming down. Like, seriously. I'm
don't
not kidding. Like,
I don't want to go to this weekend.
Right. I keep thinking back to this weekend, and I'm like, dude, we were so fucking spoiled this weekend. Every game was a walk-off. Every single game was a literal walk-off. I can't wait to get started. Let's kick it off. Let's get right into it. Let's start the weekend off with the first one seed going down. The Bengals, the Tiger King taking down the Titans. They even had Derrick Henry back, and he looked like he was 70, 80% maybe. But he wasn't the mutant, the Weapon X that we're used to seeing. But, man, what a fucking game. What an entertaining game. And Joe Burrow is starting to show, like, he knows what the fuck he was talking about when he was saying, I'd like to see us take Jamar Chase. Because that dude is a fucking freak. That screen pass that he took and beat the defender and took for 50 yards is kind of case in point. And I said it in our chat, like, he looks faster than I ever thought he looked at LSU. And maybe that year off, he just went and trained speed or whatever. But, man, he's a difference maker for that team. So what are your thoughts about that game?
No, like, it's Joe Burrow, 1, Tiger King, or Jamar Chase, 2. And it, like you said, like, he's at a different level, different speed. And it was interesting watching the game. You heard what the coaches said for, like, their game plans. And Zach Taylor said, make that first man miss. And on the opposite side of the ball, you had Vrabel over there saying, can't have that first miss. We got to make the tackle that first play, and that's just what you saw. Like, you saw Jamar Chase, like, making those guys miss and going those extra yards after contact and everything else. You just can't have that. But at the same time, too, Bengals offensive line needs to get their shit together. Like, that 9 sacks. Now, I give Tennessee's defense credit for about 6 of those. 3 of them I put on Burrow. I think Burrow held onto the ball too long, tried to extending the play, and to where he just got caught up in it. And so I think 3 of those 9 are on Burrow, but still 6 sacks, 9 sacks in total.
Even 6 is too many.
Yeah.
I think one thing about Joe Burrow, right? If there's a knock on the guy, he worked on his arm strength last year, and he seems to have maybe not an elite arm, but he's got a plus arm now. He didn't have that his rookie year. He didn't have that at LSU. He didn't need it at LSU. But if there is a knock on him, and it's the same knock we see with some guys like Josh Allen was really bad about this his first couple of years, and we've seen it from, like, Mahomes at times. Guys like Lamar, they take bad sacks, and you can take sacks, and it's not a killer sack. Guys like Brady and Rodgers, they know when the play's over and they go down, right? Mm-hmm. Burrow, Allen, some of these other guys, they try to extend the play. They try to back up. And that's when you're retreating.
Well,
That's when you create those bad sacks.
and they got out of field goal range on a couple of those too.
Twice he took sacks that knocked him out of field goal range. Flint, want to pass it your way, buddy. What'd you think of Saturday's early game?
I think it's great. Tiger King is great. Jamar Chase is great. There was a better pick if you're Cincinnati in this draft. He's in Detroit. That was the guy to get. There's a really good meme floating around that shows Burrow, and then it shows Sewell blocking, and then it shows anybody receiving, right? And then the flip side of that meme is Burrow on his head with anybody blocking, and Jamar Chase is his receiver. They already had Boyd. They already had T. Higgins. I get it. It's the Corvette pick, but the tried and tested guy was your offensive tackle. There was a possible generational one available. They didn't get him.
So I have a question for you on that
this year.
Yeah, for sure. I have a question for you on that, and then you can continue because I think this is going to help feed that point. If you're a GM, do you think it's easier to find a Jamar Chase at wide receiver, or do you think it's easier to find a serviceable left tackle with Chase, or flip the coin and you get Sewell, who's a generational left tackle? I agree with you 100%. I called for Sewell, right? So I'm with you.
Yeah.
Do you think it's easier to get that elite wide receiver who can really do what Chase does and get a serviceable left tackle, or get what Sewell does at left tackle? And you said they already had Boyd and Higgins, but Chase seems to be a real difference maker at wide receiver, and there aren't a lot of those. Which one do you think, if you're a GM looking back on, this season and kind of where they're at, do you think they can build this offseason and get that offensive line fixed and still have Chase, or do you think it's going to be a perpetual problem for them?
I think it's a lot harder to build an offensive line than it is to build a receiving core. And, I agree that Chase looks like he could be a huge difference maker. But I almost disagree that there's not many of them. I think there's a lot of difference makers at the wide receiver position. I think there's more difference makers at the wide receiver position now than I've ever seen.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I think it's way easier to say who the top 10 offensive tackles in the NFL are than it is to say who the top 10 wide receivers are. I've been seeing a debate lately, and, this probably isn't necessarily, well, it is the time. It's the Blitz, but a lot of people don't even seem to think that Cooper Kupp is a top 5 wide receiver. So we have a guy that just went Triple Crown. Listen.
That's so irresponsible.
Even if you think it's irresponsible, the fact that the conversation is happening in more places than one, because I saw this today, just a random Facebook page, but a Facebook page that gets a lot of action regardless. But it's funny because I was just having this conversation with somebody last week in a bar stool, not about him not being a top 5, but about, is he the best? And, I think there's some legit concern for, is Cooper Kupp the best? But he just did the Triple Crown thing and, almost set the single season receiving record and, tore up those Rams single season records. So
I saw a list that had Stephon Diggs ahead of him.
I saw that. That's probably the same one I saw.
That's real here, buddy.
That's out of control. It really
Diggs is a fine wide receiver. He's a great wide receiver. But
the same list I saw had Jamar Chase ahead of him too, which, one season. It's
let's pump the brakes.
So let me ask you this then, because I disagree with both of you on this. I think Jamar Chase was the correct pick on this, but let me ask you guys this real quick. If the Bengals don't have Jamar Chase, are they in the playoffs?
No. I don't think anybody expected them to be in the playoffs this year, though, right? I think he has been that much of a difference maker. I want to kind of clarify my stance on the Chase versus Sewell thing. I was calling for Sewell at the draft. I think I've swung a little bit the other way because of the chemistry that he and Burrow have, and he's kind of a safety blanket for Burrow. I also think that Chase has done a lot this year to kind of change that narrative with how productive he's been. It's easier to look back and say, well, maybe they kind of knew what they were doing, but they still have to fix the offensive line, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They have to fix the offensive line.
Yeah.
I totally agree there. Totally agree. And
I got to stick with Sewell. I just think to me, Joe Burrow is going to throw the ball, and he has productive wide receivers. Maybe not to Chase's caliber, but I mean, he still would have had 2 really good wide receivers on that roster. I mean, T. Higgins is a problem, but I just feel like if you go out there and you buy a $100,000 car, you probably better have a security system to your car or have a garage. I mean, you don't just leave the fucking thing in the street.
I totally agree with you that it's harder to put together an offensive line than it is to put receivers out there. I mean, case in point, Dallas, with what Dallas had 4 or 5 years ago and the rushing game that they had, now their rushing game is basically non-existent anymore. And
that's a direct reflection of the offensive line.
Exactly. Yes. So I totally agree with you on that standpoint. During the draft, I want them to draft Jamar, but I thought that Sewell would have been a better pick for him long term for Burrow's safety, just because of the knee injury and everything else that he went through the first year. But I want him to pick Chase. But at the same time, with my question that I just asked, I don't think that they get to the playoffs without Chase.
Right, and I probably have to take the L on this anyways, because what we're talking about is them being in the championship, the conference championship. So, clearly I'm wrong, but that's something I still feel.
I don't think you're wrong at all.
I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I don't think there is a wrong answer here.
I think Sewell's a guy that you plug him in at left. Like we have a team in the conference championship that's built the way that Andy's talking about building them. Look at San Francisco. Trent Williams is the best left tackle in football. They've got one of the best running games, and they've got receivers, with the exception of Debo being the fucking unicorn. And they can still fucking put up 30, 40 points on some teams and shit, right? And they just play this ground control type game, and they hit the big play here and there. But, like, they are the kind of the framework for it, right? For what you're talking about, Andy. So I don't think there's a wrong answer.
No.
I was more curious with your, like, Stove, good question. Do they make the playoffs? I also was curious, just kind of hear, what do you think is easier to build, right? Is it mediocre receivers with a great offensive line? Is that harder to build? If it is, then maybe Sewell was the right pick, right? So I'm with you that I think Sewell is a guy that they're going to look back and say, man, he'd have been awesome. But I don't know that they have buyer's remorse, because Jamar Chase has been what he's been. And
you should be happy though, Andy, because you have Sewell.
Yeah.
And
you got St. Brown, here's
the thing that I've said for a while now is on the flip side, if I'm a Lions fan, and I almost think that Chase is the better option there, just because of what they had going on. The Lions were banged up on the offensive line this year, but they already have a pretty damn good offensive line, and they had no weapons
around.
Obviously, St. Brown came around, but
second half of the year, though.
Second half, yeah.
So that was kind of, that's one of the pick your poisons. What's your team built like? And to me, it was like Joe Burrow really needs to be protected after what we saw happen last year. He's already got a couple good receivers, as were the Lions. They already have a pretty good offensive line. I mean, I'm not mad about the pick, but they could have used, Jamar Chase might have, I don't know. Goff can't throw the ball far enough. So.
So let's flip the script a little bit and let's talk about the Titans, right? Because obviously the 1 seed goes down. They were still the 1 seed despite missing Derrick Henry for a good chunk of the season. I think he missed 9 games or 8 games and still finished like 5th in league in rushing, because he's just that guy. But
when he went down in week 8, I think it was, he had almost 1,000 yards.
Right. And he led the league in rushing for like 3 more weeks.
He was number 1 and 2.
Yes.
So he was number 1 in rushing, and then number 2
after contact.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And dominating Nick Chubb at the time.
We've seen the Titans now. They're 0 for their last 3 as the 1 seed. And we see both 1 seeds go down this past weekend. And there's only 1 bye anymore, right? So now we kind of have some empirical evidence to ask this question. Is it an advantage to get the bye in the NFL? Flint, let's go your way first.
It's probably still an advantage. I mean, I have to think not having to play a game is going to be an advantage. I never liked the argument of, they're going to be rusty because they didn't play and the other team did. No, they're not. They're professionals. They just played, 18 weeks. They're going to be fine. I think that every team wants that rest week. The teams that say they don't are the teams that didn't finish first.
They're the wild card
because they have to.
I didn't want the rest.
They have
anyway.
to play.
They can't.
You can't make me play. I wanted to play.
You can't say, "Oh, it would have been nice to have the rest week," because then it kind of sounds like you're copping out for the games play. So I definitely think it's still an advantage.
Stove?
No, I totally think it's an advantage to rest up, and it worked in favor of Tennessee this year to where they got Derrick Henry back for this game. But as I pointed out in the previous episodes, I did not think he was going to be a factor, and nor did I think that they should have played him either, especially if he was at 70, 80%, which he looked like he was. He definitely was not at his full 100% capabilities. And to be honest with you, I don't think he played much of a factor at all in this game.
Yeah, I would agree with you and Flint. I think the bye is still something you want, right? You want to be able to rest and get guys healthy. The Packers got a bunch of people back, and they just couldn't seal the deal either. And it's the playoffs, right? You're down to the top. This divisional weekend, you're down to the top 8 teams, right, left in the all of the NFL. And in any given Sunday in the regular season, same thing in the playoffs, right? So, and you're talking about better teams, better competition. But yeah, and the point about Henry too, I think he looked like he was football wise like 70 to 80%. I hope, or at least maybe I'm just going to give the benefit of the doubt that medically he's at 100%, and that the time away and not playing football is what contributed to him looking a little bit sluggish, not as explosive, not as dangerous, not as powerful with the ball. And hopefully over the offseason, he's going to get himself back in shape, and we'll see Derrick Henry at 100% next year. Because I'm with you, Stove, and we talked about it, right? Even for a Super Bowl run, I don't know that I'm willing to risk re-injury and long-term issues with Derrick Henry. So I have to believe, and maybe this is fool's gold that I'm making this sort of belief, but I have to believe that medically their team doctor believed that Derrick Henry was 100% healed, just not at 100% football, because he did not look like the same guy.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Right, and he averaged, like a pedestrian 3.1 a carry, which is down from his
17 and a half.
I think he only averaged like 4.3 or 4.4. But I mean, if you look
at
volume
it, guy
on 20 carries, that's a lot of yards. I mean, you're talking a guy who goes from 60 yards to closer to 100 yards. I mean, he's probably a 90-yard ballpark. So I agree with you. I think medically, yes, cleared, but maybe not football-wise, if that makes sense. Yeah. But here's the other thing with the Titans is the Titans are like the weirdest 1 seed that I can remember in a long time. Like, and that's not taking anything away from them. But I mean, what would a futures bet have paid if you picked the Titans to win the conference prior to the season? I mean, probably a lot of money. I mean,
right.
So I just it's probably up there with what if you would have bet on Cincinnati to win the AFC. So I need to know. Somebody out there, give me the specs on what that payout was prior to the season, because if it happens, I'm sure somebody in the Kentucky area is making some money.
Yeah. So last kind of point/question. Ryan Tannehill didn't look good Sunday, and there has been long stretches that he hasn't looked good, especially when Derrick Henry was out. They were winning a lot of games in spite of the offense. The defense was playing great. They've got a good kicker. They've got really good special teams, and et cetera, et cetera. Where did the Titans go at quarterback? Because they tried to give him another weapon with Julio, and it didn't work out. He wasn't healthy, right? That's not Tannehill's fault. A.J. Brown missed some time, but Ryan Tannehill at times looks like a dude that shouldn't be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He looks like a guy that can spell a starter and win a game or two here and there. So, Andy, where do the Titans go? Do they have to stick with Tannehill because it's familiar, or
are you saying he is who we thought he was?
Yes. Before
the last couple of years. Yeah, I mean, because they throw like 20 touchdowns, 14 picks this year, something.
He's always been good on the play action.
He's not very good. He's okay.
Right.
Like I think he's a serviceable starter, but if you're the Titans, you have to start looking at like, don't we need more than a serviceable starter because we're here? And there's 3 guys out there right now who have some allure to them who might be available. That's Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson. So I think it happens? Probably not. I think, this is going to be the age-old thing of probably like they wait a season or two too long before they explore the option and their window closes. Yeah. I mean, because their window might be closed. I mean,
it might have just closed.
Nobody expected them to win the AFC. Really, I mean, and people who did pick them, it was blind faith in.
They weren't even picked in their division to start the season. Remember how much hype the Colts had coming into the year?
It's one of those weird things, and I don't think they're a bad football team. And sometimes they looked really good. There was a Monday night game where they beat the Bills that they looked, and it was still a close game, but they looked really good. They were getting after Josh Allen. Henry had a good game, but they're just not a team that we expected to have a bye week going into the playoffs.
So, what are your thoughts about Tannehill?
I'm with Flynn on this. Like, I don't think he's the guy. I mean, I truly haven't thought that he's been the guy, for a couple years now. I think he's better than some of those other quarterbacks out there that you think are not NFL quarterbacks for sure. But he has too many giveaways, and with a team that they have, can't be doing that, especially this year with Henry going down and everything like that. You basically prided yourself on defensively, and when your quarterback is throwing picks and turning the ball over and everything else like that, your defense is out there on the field a lot more than it needs to be. So as you work your way throughout the season, they're going to be tired, banged up more so than they need to be. But I'm with Andy on this. Like, I think they need to look elsewhere. I don't think he will win them a Super Bowl.
So I'll, in full transparency, this is a spontaneous question, right? This isn't something I should have done my homework ahead of time. He's a dead cap hit of $57 million next year. Fuck. So they have Tannehill for at least the 2022 season. So how do they fix that? Is it they tried to get Julio? Julio's over the hill. Are they going to focus heavily on wide receiver in the draft then? Is that the answer? I mean, it has to be, right?
It almost might just be stay the course. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe you see if he can run it back.
I just hope Derrick Henry doesn't get hurt midseason and not be ready for the playoffs. Because I think Derrick Henry at 100%, we may see a different outcome in that game. Possibly.
Probably, but here's the thing: is Derrick Henry healthy all season? You don't get a better regular season outcome.
Well, that's true.
So it's almost
but he's 100% for the playoffs.
Right. I'm saying, okay, so yes, in that game, but I mean, you're still going into a game where it's one game. You might lose. You're relying on your running back, which is kind of a weird strategy. In the
so NFL. The best thing they can hope for in 2022 is run it back, right?
I don't. Is there any who do you go after in the draft?
I mean, there's some pretty good wide receiver talent in the draft. I don't know about quarterback. No, that's you're not fixing Tannehill.
That's a legitimate question of who you're going, because I'm not. I don't watch college football. I'll know more about like the draft here in a
few months.
I think a guy like Jahan Dotson, and we'll talk about that at draft time. But Jahan Dotson from Penn State's a guy that they could maybe target late in the first round. But anyway, we'll talk about the draft when we get there. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be kind of stuck with Tannehill and have to figure this fucking thing out, because that's a result you definitely don't want as the one seed.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine being stuck with a high-priced, mediocre quarterback. That must be tough.
And his salary isn't that bad. It's just all the accelerators and his bonus and stuff. Like, his dead cap number is fucking silly next year.
I'm glad my Lions don't deal with that.
Right.
Hey, real quick to go to your futures pick. The Titans were plus 125 when the AFC South, behind the Colts.
So they weren't favored to win their division. So that number for the AFC must have been
so that's not too bad for the division.
30 to 1 maybe.
Oh yeah, it's got
30 to 1.
Insane to win the division.
Appreciate that, Stove.
You're welcome.
Like, I really need to know the Bengals number to win the
The AFC.
The AFC, like that's
It was
astronomical.
It had to be
because they must have been in second, third, or fourth. They probably were in third.
They probably were fourth in the AFC North,
right?
Honestly, because
I mean,
I think people expected the Browns,
right, and then probably the Ravens, and I would imagine the Steelers too over them. They were probably fourth, so
probably
they're probably a few hundred there.
Yeah.
Okay, so to win the AFC, and this was after they got Julio Jones. Okay. It went from 22 plus 2,200 to plus 1,200.
Boy, that's not as high as I thought.
After they got Julio Jones,
drained it by 1,000.
Yep,
he brought it down by 10 to 1.
What?
Jesus.
And then the odds makers watched him play.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Oh.
That's still a lot, though. I mean, 1,200. If if you're a Titans fan and you even throw 500 on that, I mean that's
cash out hefty.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the night game from Saturday. We had Andy. I'm going to let you bask in the glory, so I'm going your way first. Niners on a Robbie Gould walk-off, and I love the video of him before the game kicking practice field goals over the Packers tunnel of players for intros. I don't know if everybody saw that or not, but they're lined up for intros, and Robbie Gould's just setting up kicking field goals over their heads. It's fucking awesome. Robbie Gould gives 0 fucks, and
so does
zero fucks. Exactly. He gave 0 fucks when he walked them off at the end of the night. So Andy, give it to us.
I try, I try not to be like I had 1,000 things I tried to almost post onto Facebook, and I was like, I'm going to take the high road. I won't.
Now's your chance, though.
I won't kick the Packers while they're down. No, I'm still not going to do it. Here's what I am going to say though is I picked San Fran.
Sure.
I picked San Fran the first week. I had them. Sorry, Stove. They were
too. I was on the island.
They're my pick.
Cowboys
I picked them, and I picked them the next week, and I had a lot of people telling me I was crazy. But here's a little secret: Aaron Rodgers cannot beat the fucking 49ers. He can't do it. 4 times. He lost 12, 13, 19, and now 21. He cannot get it done against them. And everything was set up for them to be you talked about San Fran being good at, controlling the ball, but it's a cold game, Lambeau Field. These guys are ready for this shit. This is Rodgers' thing. You're playing the worst team in, record wise. And you just go out there and you lay the largest egg ever. And, again, I don't want to kick them when they're down. I was happy because it was, I picked it. And I had already struggled because I picked the Titans. So I was like, all right, let's right this ship a little bit. But yeah, no, it's that is Aaron Rodgers' bugaboo is the San Francisco 49ers, who, by the way, Aaron Rodgers was a fan of growing up.
Yeah.
Until they did not draft him.
Yeah.
Right. I always thought it was weird too, because Kaepernick was a Packers fan. Rodgers was a Niners fan, and they had the 13 and the 2012 and the 2013 games, and I just thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, and it was a weird start to the game too, because the
Packers
I shouldn't
down.
say a weird start. I should say a weird finish, because they went down the field like the 49ers were still in the fucking locker room.
Yeah. After that drive, I was like, this game's over.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, but
special teams and.
Well, the special teams look like fucking Nebraska's special teams.
They had 10 men on the field for the game.
Exactly.
You had a field goal or an extra point or a field goal blocked. You had a punt blocked for a touchdown to tie the game, and then you had 10 people on the field for the fucking game-winning field goal. What the fuck was going on this weekend? Anyway, Stove, the floor is yours. What are you?
Oh no, I'm with you. I thought after that first drive for Green Bay, they were just gonna obliterate San Fran. Cold weather, the frozen tundra. They're used to playing in the cold. They practice in the cold. You had a warm weather team coming in. They had players come back from with that bye week that we just talked about. Get back a little healthier. Man, and their special teams let them down. And offensively. They didn't get things going. Here's the problem that I have with it is you threw the ball to Devontae Adams so many times when he was doubled and triple covered. If he's doubled and triple covered, there is a wide receiver, a tight end open somewhere on that field. Find them.
I saw the high view, the sky view of the play before they got the punt blocked.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae Adams is the guy he threw to on. It was 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, something like that. He threw a 50-yard bomb to him in double coverage.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners defender had the best shot at it, and I believe it was Valdez-Scantling.
Scantling was wide
running
open
by himself in the middle of the field.
Yes,
that's case in point what you're saying there. They tried to force the ball to Devontae way too much.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even just him. Like you have the guy who is, I think most people would consider this still be, maybe the best quarterback in the NFL, definitely top 3, and maybe the most talented quarterback of all time. And he's throwing 20 balls, and 18 of them are to 2 guys, and one's a running back. Nine throws to Jones, 9 throws to Adams, and then he had 1 ball to 2 other guys. Bro, that's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree. And so with that, and then obviously the special teams meltdown that they had with the blocked field goal at the end of the first half, and obviously the blocked punt there. Yeah,
the font killed it.
Yeah. So I mean, with all those miscues and not only having 10 guys on the field and everything else like that, you deserve to lose. That's on you guys. That's coaching and everything else right there. So,
that's a flop. But let's flip the script. Let's talk about what the Niners did, right? Because you have a team that shoves the ball down your throat. You're playing in sub-freezing temperatures at Lambeau Field against the number 1 seed, and you're down 7-0 in 3.5 minutes, and it was almost like your defense wasn't on the field, yet you bow up, and your offense is no good. You can't really run the ball. They ran the ball okay, but they didn't run the ball very well. Jimmy G was streaky. He'd hit a few receivers, and then he'd fall apart, and then he'd hit a few, and then he'd fall apart. Debo got going a bit, but wasn't quite the difference maker we've seen him be. Obviously, going into championship weekend, there's some concern with Debo, but how about the fucking 49ers just kind of stay in the course, and when the chips are down, they block a field goal at the end of the first half, and that can be a real momentum changer. And you almost thought, hey, coming out in the second half, they might get a little something going. They didn't. But then the special teams makes another fucking play, ties the game up. What kind of resolve are we talking about with that's a gritty fucking performance.
Well, they still did what you said earlier. They still you're talking about they didn't run the ball particularly well, but they still went to it 30 times.
They stayed with it. It
was
even though they weren't
29 rushes.
Success. Yeah.
Right. And
they just wanted to shorten the game, and they did what they did, and they gave themselves a chance down the stretch.
And then they won exactly like how you would expect San Fran to win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
They did it with that third facet of the game. I mean, Jimmy G is just kind of like this pretty dude who, he's okay. I mean, he didn't. Yeah. What did he do in this game? I mean, 130 yards with a pick. I mean, a 57.1 rating. I just, nothing
He's
crazy.
Sort of an enigma, isn't he? The week before, he has that fucking terrible throw that the receiver never has a chance, and ends up the Cowboys score a touchdown, and it just changed the whole fucking game. He's such a weird guy because you think of him as a game manager who doesn't make those sorts of mistakes, but he doesn't look good in this game, but he just continues to. I don't know if he's just got this mystique about him, because everybody in the locker room loves that fucking dude. Everybody in the locker room says we are a different person when Jimmy plays. Jimmy's not going to light the scoreboard up. He doesn't light up the stat sheet, but maybe there's something to that Jimmy's just got this charisma about him. Aaron Andrews seems to love it.
That's well,
But I don't know. I know who didn't like seeing San Francisco win, and that's Sean fucking McVay, who we're going to talk about here in a minute. Speaking of that game, what a wild game, Bucks and Rams, right? The Rams are dominating for 50 minutes of this game. It looks like the Bucs have no chance. I called game like 7 times and got fucking fucked by the Rams immediately after calling game every single time. So I just stopped. Eventually I just stopped because what broke my back, the straw that broke my back, was when I called game after Brady's fumble and the center proceeded to snap it over Stafford's fucking head 40 yards downfield, almost as if Brady completed a big pass, right? So I gave up on calling game, and I'm glad I did because it ended up tied, and then Matt Gay hits a fucking walk-off after missing a 47-yarder short. Dude was clearly hurt. They said he got hurt pregame. Stove, talk about this game, man. Brady makes the big comeback, and then heartbroken by Cooper Kupp.
So it reminded me a little bit of the Falcons Patriots.
It was almost the same score.
Super Bowl. It was almost the same score at halftime. Yeah.
My buddy was sitting next to me. He kept saying the same shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so it kind of had that eerie feeling to it, especially going into the second half of the game where Tampa Bay starts making a comeback and everything's just going wrong for Los Angeles and everything else. Give credit to the Buccaneers defense for hammering down in the second half, because that first half they really like LA was doing whatever they wanted to, basically, it seemed like. Second half, Tampa Bay's defense stepped up. You saw you saw the turnovers, but you saw some of those guys that had been injured come up and make some plays for Tampa Bay in that second half. Levante David being one of them. But the one thing that I liked about this game was the refs did not give a shit that Tom Brady was on one side of the ball. Like,
listen,
they didn't take his shit. Like, good for you guys.
Listen,
good for you.
They mismanaged the beginning of this game, in all seriousness. Like, that flag on Sue was absolutely asinine and so uncalled.
It was soft.
So uncalled for. And
but I'm a Lions fan. Yeah. I dealt with this for years. It's Sue.
It's Sue. I'm a Husker fan.
It was funny to hear him say he kicked me on the microphone and be like, see, Matt Schaub said he don't give a fuck.
I mean, and we talked about it a little bit. He definitely, I thought he got kicked. I mean, when you watched it, but it's not like for him.
I don't think it was intentional.
Sue's a little unstable. For him to even think, no, how could it even be intentional? Like, it's not, Sue's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. So I thought it was soft, but I think a lot of things are soft in the NFL. And, that was just one of those.
The call on Brady was fun. It was his first unsportsmanlike conduct in his career. And it's funny that he walks over to the guy with a mouthful of blood. And the ref's like, you're not going to talk to me like that. I missed the call. It's just like every MLB umpire who blows a fucking call and you say one thing to them and they're like, you're out of here. Fuck you. I can fuck up whatever the fuck I want.
I'm not one of those people who's like against Tom Brady. I never have been. Like, I rather enjoyed Tom Brady over the years. But I do think it was ironic and sort of funny to see him finally just get treated like everybody else.
Yes.
Just for that one play, even if it was just that one play.
He does bleed.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of people, like, there's a lot of, I mean, and he's not the only one over the years, but a lot of these superstar players, especially quarterbacks, can get away with yelling at an official like that excessively. Yeah. And I didn't even think his was terrible. No. But, like, at the same time, I don't know exactly what he said. And that official was just like, not today, bitch.
Yeah. I hope he called him a cocksucker. Sean Hockley is a cocksucker. He's one of the worst officials in the fucking league.
Hey, period. You know his dad?
His dad was a good official, but also a fucking asshole.
He could beat all of our asses, too.
Sean's jealous he can't get as big as Ed, so he's got to be a dickhead on the field.
Yeah. But it was a hell of a good game.
Hell of a good game. Yeah.
Fucking Christ, exciting. You know when I knew it was over? Was
when they left Cooper Kupp open at that last.
It was before that. It was when
Matt Stafford had a minute 20.
It was when they left Matt Stafford time, and I was like,
"There's a meme that has forever been enshrined in the meme Hall of Fame of Matt Stafford zoomed out, zoomed in a little bit, a little bit more, and a little bit more, and it's a nice lead you had there."
Like, and you know, it wasn't even a lead at this point, but like being a Lions fan, I've seen this story a million times with far less talent.
Mhm.
So like to see that, I'm like, I looked at my buddy and I was like, they're gonna score.
Yep.
And he was like, nah, it's gonna go to overtime. I'm like, nah, dude, they're gonna score. Like, and then they single cover fucking Cooper Kupp.
with a safety.
Like,
in
with
the
a safety.
steam.
why?
Like, let him just roll up the
Why?
middle of the fucking
With
field.
a safety.
They might as well. They should have put a linebacker on him.
Might as well
Just-
put Sue on him.
I mean,
Sue would have tackled him before he.
you would have fucking ripped his
Yeah.
head off. Again, awesome fucking game. I was super excited to watch my guy get it done. But like,
Yeah.
actually, I would have kind of felt sick for Stafford if they had lost the game because there were turnovers,
Yeah.
and for once it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Because he tends
Yeah.
he tends to be the slinger who's out there. I mean, Kupp had that fumble, uncharacteristic.
Mhm.
Dickhead had two of them.
Ooh.
That one guy nobody's ever heard of had one. You know, the guy with the snap there, the terrible fucking snap. And actually, the funniest thing I saw was I saw a Bills fan be like rigged as soon as that snap happened, and I was like,
Yeah.
and then when they
center's gonna
scored it,
cooperate
they scored
when
after
they're
that, and then
Yeah.
I was trying to comment on it, and it was gone. So
Yeah.
he deleted
Yeah.
it. Like the conspiracy theories are fucking thick. Well, here's the other one is I'm sure everybody noticed at this point the three games that were won by field goals were all at 4 seconds, and everybody's like fucking conspiracy the NFL because there's like some
That's
fucking
the
grand.
standard call a timeouse because
Yeah.
only the
Yeah,
field goals
exactly.
that happen.
So it's people who don't
Exactly.
understand football that say that, and like there's some fucking door prize for it being 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It wasn't 6. It wasn't
Yeah.
like 666 or some
Right.
Illuminati bullshit.
Yeah.
People, oh my god, drive me fucking nuts.
That's
man.
fucking funny. That's fucking funny. Oh,
I swear to God, if you're watching this show and you fucking post that meme, I'll find you.
I can't wait for Cat Facts later though, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Buccaneers and valiant comeback, but some interesting offseason intrigue with them. So let's talk about, despite the fact that we had 3 games leading into this game decided by walk-off field goals, the game of the weekend, and it wasn't close, right? Like all 3 of those previous games were fucking high-class entertainment. But this shit was like they flew us to the moon and we were treated like kings. Like this was unfucking believable.
Fucking flew us to the moon.
You say
Elon Musk
you
was
say the
like,
weekend. Like this was
This might be
like,
game of the decade. Like
yeah.
Unfucking real. Like Chiefs end up winning on a touchdown in overtime, but the Bills there were fucking Patrick Mahomes had like 200 yards passing after the 2-minute warning of the 4th quarter. Like that's the kind of game we got down the stretch. And the Bills thought they had the game won probably twice, honestly. And
Dude, those
Gabe
videos
Davis?
are brutal.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, what a coming out party. 4 fucking tutties. Like,
Yeah.
dude's just setting records here.
Do you guys see the videos of like the Bills fans celebrating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
heartbreaking.
Heartbreak.
shit.
Like, and I'm not a Bills fan, but
Listen,
you
here's
feel
my
for
thing
him.
is like I'll say gut wrenching. I'm not gonna say heartbreaking because like wait. Just wait. Because we've all seen this kind of shit happen before. Like maybe not to that effect, like in that kind of game, but we've all like I watched the fucking 66-yard field goal go through the uprights this year
Off
to
the
lose game.
crossbar.
And guess what? I celebrated that shit before it happened.
Yeah.
I did. So oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Those
I was right there
people,
with you on that one too.
dude. Well, because I mean that's
Yeah.
that's as impossible as a 13-second drive. What was it, like 75 yards, 70 yards?
They had to get like 45 to get in the field goal range.
Yeah.
to get in
And
the
I
field
think,
goal range.
and I think they got 55.
Yeah.
I think.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Just unreal.
Just one hell of a game. Like you said, great weekend leading up to it. And then you get the fucking nightcap. And the nightcap was a nightcap for years.
You want to
For
know why?
years.
It's because it's rigged.
It's rigged.
Yeah. And like you said, Andy, like it's gut wrenching. You feel for Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills.
Oh, absolutely.
And and we'll get on a topic for
Dude, I'm
Captain Facts.
texting back and forth with my dad during that game. The Bills.
How is Gary Freese Sr. holding up?
We've been chatting even still since. Like seriously, like I haven't been able to let it go. I can't imagine what Bills fans are feeling. I can only imagine if I'm a Washington fan, if I'm a Washington, it's them. Like I'm like, that's a fucking killer because you played the perfect game. And you just got beat by somebody who played also the perfect game and just happened to win the coin toss.
And we won't get to overtime. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But here's my thing with it. Like 13 seconds left. You're kicking off. Why don't you squib it? You squib it. If you squib it, you're erasing, let's say, 4 to 5 seconds off the clock. Okay. Granted, Kansas City still has their 3 timeouts, but if you squib it, you're taking 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. Now you're down to 8 seconds. Now you really only have time for one pass play to go the 45, 50 yards, wherever you need to go to get into field goal range. But yet you have a touchback, all 3 timeouts now with 13 seconds. You have Kelsey right down the fucking gut of the field. Like,
and Hill before that.
Like, where the fuck are you guys? Where are your defenders at? Why are you rushing 4?
Right.
Like there's a couple things there. The squib kick, the rushing 4.
Well, the one thing that really the one thing that confuses me, right? And I love Leslie Frazier because I think he's a really good defensive coordinator. I don't think he's a really good head coach because he wasn't very good in Minnesota. But I look at the call when Kelsey made that play. They didn't rush 4. They feinted rushing to 4. And then number 97, I forget who it is, but he drops out and plays spy on Mahomes.
Yeah, you're not
catching him. That's the one that confused me. It's why
97, you're not catching him.
Listen, believe me, I want Mahomes to run the ball there.
Yeah.
I have no interest in anything that Mahomes has to do other than throwing the ball. So that's one defender that should have been down the field in coverage that wasn't. And I think that falls squarely on the shoulders of Leslie Frazier there. And you mentioned the squib, and I'm going to get this, and then Andy, I'm going to go your way because I know you got something here. But the squib sometimes is a little bit goofy because it can take some weird bounces, right? I thought the safest play was to kick it deep but short of the end zone. You
kick it high and short.
You force them to return it, and Tyreek Hill wasn't back, right? If Tyreek Hill was back, I kick that fucker out of the back of the end zone, right? But he wasn't back on the kickoff. So I kick it high, I kick it short of the end zone, and I make them run at least 4 or 5 seconds because with a squib, too, if it's recovered quickly, they can just go to the ground and you save a couple of seconds and maybe it gets recovered at like the 35 or so. And you get that one play, 20 yards, you got a chance, right? There's some things that can go wrong with a squib kick. A squib kick can work perfectly if you get, that bounce and you get it down there and you make it
to the right person.
Time, right? Yeah. Exactly. I'm with you 100% on that. But I thought the safe play was kick it deep but short of the end zone, force them to use 4 or 5 seconds because a fair catch in the NFL on a kickoff is not the same as a fair catch in college. A fair catch in college comes out to the 20. It's a touchback. Whereas a fair catch on a kickoff in the NFL, you get it at the spot. So if they called a fair catch to save that time, they're at the 5, the 10, whatever.
Yep.
I just thought that was, in my opinion, at the time, I thought that was
the better play.
But I can't say that I'm going to blame Sean McDermott for the decision because 13 seconds, the number 1 rated defense, you should be able to stop a team from getting a field goal opportunity. Now, mind you, fucking Pat Mahomes on the other side. Andy, floor's yours.
My biggest problem with the squib kick is some of the same shit you're saying. So a squib kick is fairly unreliable, and I think with the weapons the Chiefs potentially have on a kickoff, I don't know that you want to squib it. A lot of times you squib it. If you squib it wrong, You get that line drive that's just like a right into the pocket with a full head of fucking steam by the returner. So I was saying the same thing. Actually, I was saying it the next day because I was too cocky to say it. But you get that deep, short of the end zone kick, make them make a decision. I'm disappointed. Gary, I think you said something about the Bills playing a perfect game. The offense played a perfect game. I think the defense played about as imperfect of a game as you could possibly play. They gave it 36 points. The number one defense, and I get that it's Chiefs in Pat Mahomes, and the same Pat Mahomes who came off a 300 and some odd yard, 4 touchdown game the week before against Pittsburgh. But like the number one defense in the league, and as much as we beat into people's heads that defenses win championships, 36 is too much. It's unacceptable.
Well, especially down there in the last 2 minutes too. Like how many points did they give up within that last minute 55 as well?
Games get weird down the stretch sometimes, I think that was a little bit.
Yeah.
The problem is like I think we saw a little bit in this game of the Bills played some bad teams in a lot of ways. And the AFC East is not an offensive division. So maybe some of those defensive numbers were a little skewed for them to be the number one. I was disappointed because I thought they built that defense to play against Mahomes. They went and got pass rush this offseason. They've got the 2 best safeties in football. One's a first-team All-Pro, one's a second-team All-Pro. Like, you should be able to slow that offense down. And I know things can get a little goofy, but I'm with you, Andy. I think
especially an offense that we saw have
to what Josh Allen did, especially.
Right. We saw that offense, not the second half of the season, but we saw that offense be very mortal this year, opposed to seasons past. We saw, Hill be contained. We saw Kelsey be contained. We saw Mahomes be bad. I mean, people were, we talked about this on the show. Are they going to turn the fucking page? I was one of the people that was like, finally, no, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Irish Patty, you're out to the potato field, bud. But like we were wrong.
Solid.
The Bills were wrong. I just, as much as you want to feel bad for the Bills, like the Chiefs, man, the fuck. They just went out there. They got it. They won like 32 games in a row. And they're going back to the AFC Championship.
Yeah. Raul, welcome, buddy.
Hey, baby.
The gang's all here, dude.
What do you think about this Bills Chiefs game?
I'm with you in that the score shouldn't have been that high, sure. But I mean, this is still fucking Pat Mahomes, and this is playoff Pat we're seeing. You know what I mean? We're gonna see some shit happen with that offense that it doesn't matter what defense is standing in front. I would say the Rams would still have would have trouble. The Rams defense would have trouble with Pat Mahomes and that offense firing on all cylinders, which is what we saw in the fourth quarter. And we saw amazing football this weekend. So I know you guys have probably already covered some of the games, but just my overall synopsis is fuck yes. Give me this weekend every weekend. Oh my God.
Yeah. What a fucking weekend of football, man. That brings us to our close. We're going to move to talking about the overtime rules real quick before we preview the conference championship weekend. So we saw this, I think it was 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Sorry, 3 years ago. Because the Chiefs are going for their 3rd straight Super Bowl. So 3 years ago, we saw Chiefs versus the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. And it was a similar down the stretch type of game, back and forth. Brady put up a bunch of points. Mahomes put up a bunch of points against staunch defenses, right? Stalwart defenses. And then we get to overtime. Brady and the Patriots win the coin flip and go right down the field, score a touchdown. Pat Mahomes never sees the field, right? And there was some grumblings then that like, the NFL rules need to change with overtime. I think now we've got 2 out of the last 4 years that it's happened. And I want to kind of open the floor to talk about, let's not bitch about NFL overtime rules. Let's fix them, right? Let's fix them, because I think we can all agree, and I'll let you jump in if you disagree, but I think we can all agree that in a playoff game especially, Josh Allen should have gotten a chance to see the field in that fucking game, right? Any dissenting opinion on that?
Keenan Allen has one.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're right.
Fuck that guy. He's a fucking idiot.
I
like the guy
Flawless.
in fantasy football, but his takes on overtime, he can.
I don't
suck a
think
dick
I
from the back.
disagree that like it's what I want to see. Like I would rather see, the other team, not just Josh Allen, but whatever quarterback, whatever team it may be,
Welcome back, John.
have a chance. I just don't know. Knowing what I know about the NFL, it's that whole like play a full quarter, that's not going to happen.
Okay, so I'll start this off with a suggestion for a solution, right? If I'm the NFL, I leave regular season the way it fucking is. Ties in the regular season are fine. Deciding games quickly. I don't want dudes on the field for extra time that they don't have to be on the field in the regular season. If I'm the NFLPA, I'm vehemently against that. Let's leave regular season the way it is. We have to have a different set of rules for the playoffs, in my opinion. If I'm the commissioner, if I'm the union rep, if I'm the dude on the competition committee, to me, the solution is to change it just for the playoffs. Let's leave the regular season alone. And in the playoffs, we're going to play sudden death. And what sudden death to me
exactly
is you get a chance, I get a chance. If you're beating me at the end of our two chances, you win. If we're tied at the end of those two chances, we play it again and again and again until we have a winner. And that's what college football used to be, with a few exceptions where they had to go for two. But I think in the NFL, in the playoffs, that's what we fucking need, man, because Josh Allen should have seen the field in a playoff game. I give zero fucks about changing the regular season because I think it works. I don't want to see regular season games go until fucking 2 a.m. I just don't have any fucking interest in it, right? And I don't think the players do. I don't think the owners do. I don't think anybody in the NFL has interest in a regular season game. But we have to treat the playoffs differently. So I open the floor. Raul, let's hear your thoughts on it.
I think that automatically creates a great element and a fair element in the highest level of the competition that we'll see all year. The playoffs are the big fucking show. It doesn't matter what sport you're watching. The playoffs or the World Cup is the only time you're going to fucking watch that sport if you are not a regular follower. So again, this is it. This is when you want the show to happen. And the fairest way to do it is to give those Bills a chance to even the score, which I have no doubt that Josh Allen was going to fucking put up 7.
We were going to see a shootout, bro.
Oh, we were going to see quadruple overtime, and it was going to be fucking glorious. And we got robbed of that. And the networks got robbed of all that airtime. And nobody fucking won here, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Andy.
the Chiefs won. It's fair, whatever.
Clearly, though, listen, first and foremost, I agree. I think every fan probably agrees. However, somewhere along the line between the Players Association and the NFL, they don't want that because we're not the first fucking people to think of that. We're not some genius. I mean, we are geniuses, but we're not geniuses in this respect. I mean, everybody's they talk that the college. Let's line them up at the fucking 50. I've even heard let's go back and forth until somebody doesn't score. Fine. I mean, in that game, we would have been here till fucking 3:00 in the morning. And somewhere along the line,
and I was here for it all.
I was,
dude, and I promise viewership was going to go up in fucking overtime.
Listen,
dude.
Viewership was texting people at 1 a.m. like
it would have been the littest thing on social media in the world.
In attendance in negative 50 fucking degree weather with no clothes on. Ryan Fitzpatrick would have been there bearing it all. However, somewhere along the line, these things have all been proposed, and for whatever reason, player safety, not taking 7 fucking days, it's been decided that no, that's not the way they want to do it. So again, while I disagree with them, and I think that let's just get a real fair winner. It's like,
I think you're right that there's something in the negotiations that they've said like we don't want that, but. Stove, do you have
not
a
money
solution?
Thing? Clearly,
yeah.
because
Stove, I want to know what is your solution for the overtime, and do you
have a better solution?
So, as we're talking about it, it got me thinking about all the other sports and what their regular season overtime rules are, playoff rules are. Okay. Baseball, it's the same thing all throughout the season. Okay. Basketball, same thing all throughout the season. Hockey, it's different. Hockey, you have ties. Playoffs, shootouts, overtime, and then shootout. Soccer, you go an extra period or whatever, extra half. If you're still tied, you go to shootout or penalty kicks, whatever it is.
They have ties in their regular seasons though.
Okay,
They
well,
do not have
that
ties.
example because I don't watch regular season.
Right about
I just watch World Cup.
Like hockey, right? In their regular seasons, their pool play, their round robins, they have ties. But
let this man finish.
To elimination, they don't have ties.
Correct. Baseball.
Jesus Christ, Kerry.
In baseball, you have the visiting team, and then you have the home team go. Like this, in every scenario, basically, both sides are touching the ball, the puck, whatever sport it is. Both sides are basically touching that ball. They are getting an opportunity. This is where football needs to take a look at what the other sports are doing and implement some of those rules, because it is what it is for right now. So I will agree with it. I'll move on from it. Do I like it? Absolutely not. But I will. It's the rule. I'll go with it. But yes, they do need to make a change to where both sides of the ball get an opportunity to.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, right? You mentioned all other sports, everybody gets to touch the ball, right? Basketball, you play it out, you play both sides of the ball. Every sport, even baseball has changed extra innings rules too, though. Yeah. Now we've got a guy on second base. They're trying to shorten it.
Fucking stupid.
I get it for the regular season, right? And that's why I say, like, let's not change anything in the regular season, but we have to have some sort of awareness that the playoffs is different. But Andy, you make a good point, man. I'm sure that they've had these conversations.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think the common denominator with these other sports is the risk of injury. These other sports play series too.
Yeah.
They're also not nearly as high impact either, right? Right. Even hockey, with all of the collisions, it's not as high impact.
One of our comments just mentioned a 6-man game, and as laughable as probably most people will look at that. Before that popped up on the screen, I was like, why doesn't each team just pick fucking 5 guys? They start at the fucking 50-yard line and they go back and forth until somebody can't score.
Yeah,
but
dude.
Then
they run a game of 21 on a football field.
We might be all night. How about this? Let the kickers fucking solve it.
Yeah.
Line them up.
Go back to the 5
5
yards.
yards.
That's what I was thinking about while we were all just talking about this shit, was just like pickup games. You know what I mean? It's competitive like that. Where
Justin Tucker's about to be a 9-time Super Bowl champ.
Right. I mean, fuck, you Tucker and Matt Prater out there just bombing fucking
getting her done, dude.
Getting fucking
Have we gotten into this weekend's predictions?
We're about to.
Okay.
The Rams are like, fuck no.
Yeah, they don't want Matt Gay out there kicking anything beyond 40 yards.
Yeah, no. Keep it in house.
All right.
My fun fact. My son goes, Dad, that guy who missed the kick, they called him gay. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's fucked up, isn't it? I shouldn't have said that.
You played along with it?
I was like, this is his last name. He's like, oh, it took him a second to register. I don't think he knew that people had that last name.
Well, when you grew up in Poto.
Hey, listen, I know I grew up with a couple dudes with that last name.
He just thought motherfuckers are out there just being like wild on the 1C.
Right, he thought the commentators were being disrespectful.
Like someone who's about to lose their job on the broadcast.
Yeah, he missed the kick. They called him.
The owners don't pay for extra TV time.
I guarantee it's 90% it's an injury thing.
It's probably player safety. I'm not sure. I know the TV money, and maybe there's some sort of negotiation that goes into it that the possibility for long games might affect some sort with the TV contracts. I'd have to look into that more.
These networks are like, you ain't cutting into our fucking 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Not this week.
60 minutes can fucking get fucked.
The fucking
Yeah,
Ethel sitting at home on the fucking plastic
Doing her fucking
covering.
Sudoku and watching 60 Minutes.
She got the fucking plastic over her fucking floral print couch. Cutting into my stories.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
man.
Jesus.
Getting her Metamucil in before bed. Come on now.
She got her fucking peak.
She's got to rest up before bingo night, baby.
All right, let's shift gears.
A
Jesus
fucking
Christ, let's
Afghan.
shift gears.
Oh man.
All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk championship weekend. So we've got 2 matchups this weekend. We'll start with the NFC. We've got Rams. We've got Niners. The Rams have been the stepchild of the Niners in the Sean McVay era. They're looking for the sweep, though, right? And the 3-game sweep is a rare thing in the NFL. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. We saw it last year with the Bucs. They got swept by the Saints in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs, and route to the Super Bowl. Let's start with let's go to Raul. What do you think one is going to decide this game, and who do you think is going to win this game?
Matt Stafford is going to decide this game. Because one thing we've learned this weekend is that fucking defense is the best defense in the NFL, and it is a nightmare. As long as Jalen Ramsey can keep his shit together, they'll be all right. You know? With that being said, it's going to come down to Matt Stafford. If we get the Matt Stafford that performed last weekend, I mean, it's a sure thing. It's a sure thing, and it's not even going to take. It's going to. Sean McVay has never had Matt Stafford. He's had Jared Goff. So, do I have faith in the McVay era on Shanahan with Matt Stafford at the helm? Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, 100%. So, I'm going with the Rams.
You got to break in the curse.
I do, man. I do. And I'm 100% in on Stafford. It's an all or nothing because I feel like a Lions fan. I do. Because it's like you're going to 100% invest in the win and then you're going to get let down. But if it works, dude, it's going to feel amazing. Otherwise, you're just disappointed as usual. It's kind of life as a Cowboys fan too, honestly. Yeah. We're all there.
Stove, where you at on this one? What decides this game and who you got?
I'm with Raul on this one for the Rams. I'm going Rams on this one. I'm not going to go, it relies on Stafford. I'm going to go, the difference maker in this is going to be the turnovers. Now, we saw last week, Stafford didn't have any turnovers. It was the other guys around him that had the turnovers. In weeks previous, Stafford had like 7 INTs in 2 weeks. 9, I think, in a matter of 3 weeks. So really it's going to be the turnover battle for me on this one.
I like that. You can't get the ball away in the playoffs for sure. Andy, where you at?
I've got a battle of the defensive lines. Eric Armstead, fucking animal. Also nailing a chick from the town over.
Yeah, she's right up the road.
That's weird. So it's weird. But dude is
didn't need it though. We didn't need it.
Yeah, you did.
It's a town of 75 people.
Yeah, it's the smallest little fucking town. This place
and she's married to an NFL star.
It's crazy.
Oh, they're married. That's much different than the way it was initially presented.
He's not buying into argument.
That's how I thought he was putting it too.
Yeah, he's
small little
week.
place, kids. But anyway, so
hey, for you non-savages, that just meant his family's not too far from here.
No, not his.
No.
Right,
Anyways.
but again, his family because
his extended family.
Come on,
so
bro.
So Armstead, that front, beast mode, and then obviously the Rams, Aaron Donald, Von Miller looking like an absolute animal last week.
Yeah, we're seeing some peak Von Miller again.
If the Rams,
I didn't think we'd see that after that rough start.
He didn't think he was going to see that. If the Rams can find a way to cover up and disguise Eric Weddle, like they'll be fine because that dude is a fucking boil on the back of an elderly lady. Like, that dude is gross. He sucks. He can't cover anyone. Stafford,
That was so graphic.
I think Stafford will be fine. I mean, I don't think he gets a bigger test from San Fran than he got from Tampa Bay. He played a good game. He looks super confident. I'm a little bit with Stove on this with the turnovers. The turnovers can't happen. I mean, they can't turn the ball over 4 times. And yeah, the battle of up front. I want to see a defensive smash mouth defense on both ends.
Yeah, I like all the takes, and I'm gonna.
But I got the Rams.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That.
Hey.
I gotta have the Rams. I got the Rams.
You got to ride,
baby.
Yeah.
I like all the takes.
Honestly, with the Bills out, I'm with that. Like, I'm Rams all the way now for sure.
Nice. I'm gonna lean a little closer to where Andy was at, and I'm gonna scope in on a single player. I think the X factor in this game is going to be whether or not Von Miller can hold up against the run of the 49ers. If they can run away from Donald and at Von Miller, or at least get to the edge on Von Miller, and run defense has been kind of spotty for him throughout his career. He's been good against the run in Denver at times, but other times you've been able to kind of get some against him on his side of the field because he really likes to just rush the passer, which he's fucking elite at, and we've seen that a lot lately. I think if San Francisco can establish the edge against Von Miller's side of the field, they may be able to take advantage of some of that gash yardage against the Rams defense that you wouldn't normally expect a team to be able to get. But that Shanahan run scheme, that zone run scheme, despite being familiar with it because McVay runs a very similar sort of run scheme, that to me is going to be the X factor. I'm going to go Rams, though, because I think Von Miller's going to play well. We've seen him play well over the last couple of weeks. And I'm going Rams sort of because I don't think it's easy to sweep a team, 3-game sweep in a season. And I think that McVay and the Rams have figured a little bit of something out here in the playoffs, and they're playing some really, really good football. And the Niners sort of got bailed out by some mistakes by the Packers, despite them really just kind of sticking with the game plan. So give me the Rams. Probably tight game here. We might see something down the stretch, but give me the Rams over the Niners. All right, moving to the AFC. We've got Chiefs.
Hey, real quick to answer Aaron's question, I'm going to go inmates are the Rams and the guards are the 49ers here.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I'm going inmates Rams because of Jalen Ramsey, and guards 49ers because their fucking quarterback is Jimmy G, who probably hasn't gotten a speeding ticket in his life.
And they kind of remind me of like the Reno 911.
They keep trying to paint this dude as like a bad boy, but he seems vanilla as fuck, dude. That's all
Who
I'm saying.
Who are they trying to paint as a bad boy?
Jimmy G with this little
because of his comments to Aaron Andrews,
right? But it's like my guy, like bro, you're fucking 10 ply, bud.
Bro, he's a fanboy of Aaron Andrews. Who fucking isn't?
That dude is not a bad boy. Like,
shit.
All
right.
First week in prison.
Yeah, he's Wonder Bread like a motherfucker.
All right, let's shift gears to the AFC. We've got Chiefs. We've got Tiger King and his Bengals pride.
Hell yeah, brother.
Andy, let's start with you this time. Who you got, and what's the X factor in this game?
I got the Chiefs in a blowout. Not even gonna be close. I don't need 40 to 20.
Oh, Jesus!
Listen, man. It's nothing against the Bengals, but I don't think they're there. I feel like Andy Reid is going to outcoach. Team's
Fake
going to
news.
outperform. We've been there. I got you, baby doll. I
was talking to the commenter now.
Oh, fake news. Okay. I didn't even see that. I don't even have an X factor. I just think that the Chiefs are just going to be so much more prepared for the moment. And again, that's nothing against man.
Hey, where's the game being played?
Kansas City.
Okay.
I've rooted
Rhetorical
for the
question. Sorry.
I've rooted for the Bengals all season. I think they've been phenomenal. Burrow's progression has been great. The Jamar Chase thing we talked about earlier. I'm a big fan of T. Higgins actually, and Joe Mixon. I think they have a decent defense. How can I not pick the Chiefs here? Especially since the slander I gave them midway in the season. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be close.
Stove, you staying loyal?
Fuck yeah, I'm staying loyal.
I like
fucking
it.
Tiger King got this in his back pocket, baby. That fucking he's going into Chiefs Kingdom.
Yes, sir.
That's fucking Carol Baskins right there.
Yes,
He's just gonna
sir.
go murder him.
So Joey B's your X factor.
Joey B and
going
Jamar
big.
Chase getting the job done in Kansas City. Book it.
Yo, but wait, Carol Baskins foiled the tech.
No. He's still alive, bro. He's still kicking.
Well, he's still alive, but they foiled him.
No.
He's in prison.
No, it don't matter. He's still alive.
Hey, listen
Still
here,
breathing.
Andy. The South will rise again. Okay,
Whoa.
that's basically what we're going with here. Listen,
Raul, where are you at on this one?
no, dude, it's fucking Bengals, Doug. Like I'm down. I'm down. I thought I was gonna be on the island, but I appreciate your dedication, Stove, and we're gonna fucking drive off this cliff together. Now, here's the facts. The odds are certainly stacked against the Bengals. Being in Arrowhead,
Do we have the odds? Go ahead. I'm gonna look.
7. They're down 7 underdog.
7? Okay.
Seven now. Go ahead, Raul.
and for
I'm
me,
sorry,
it's honestly, it's really is a lose-lose for me. I love Irish Pat Mahomes. I like the Chiefs in general. I think they're a great team. I'm a bigger fan right now of Joey Burrow just because he hasn't, for him to do it this early is big dick energy, and I appreciated his time at LSU. And I've already seen Patty, and I appreciated him back whenever he was a Tech. I just come on, like I've already seen him win one. Let Joey B have his
4
minute.
games in his 3 years.
But to take down the Chiefs this year for me is just like that's the fucking hero story I want to see this year. And so I'm 100% in on Tiger King, Jamar Chase, and them Cincinnati boys getting it done in Arrowhead, just fucking straight face, dude. Another cigar in that man's hand. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So we've got a couple picking with their hearts.
Or facts.
No, man, there's
Facts
enough.
only.
I'm saying there's enough. There's enough spark. He's gonna do it.
Look, knowing that we were going to have this conversation, I've gone back and forth quite a bit on this because I do believe that the Bengals have a chance. So I disagree with Andy that it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think we're going to see another game decided on a late-ish score. I think it's going to be a 1-score game. It maybe turns into a 2-score game. And I want the Bengals, right? But after seeing what the Chiefs have done in the last 2 weeks against incredible defenses, the Steelers with all of that pass rush, TJ Watt tying the record for sacks and all of that, 13 seconds of fame. I like it. Well done, Aaron. And seeing what they've done against those two defenses, it's hard to believe that the Bengals are going to be able to slow them down. So I'm going with a shootout, and I think the X factor here is going to be who has the ball last at the end of the game. And we saw that with the Chiefs against the Bills. And I think we're going to see that again with the Chiefs against the Bengals. And I'm going to go with the sympathetic pick, knowing that I probably could be wrong if the Chiefs end up with the ball last, but I'm taking the Bengals. I'm taking the Tiger King. I think it's going to be a crazy good shootout. I think we're going to see 70.
Nobody expected Andy or one person to be on the island.
Yeah, I thought I was honestly
best island I've ever been on.
Yeah.
I think sure.
Easy,
hey, no doubt,
island.
Andy, this is the safest island you've ever
easiest,
been on. No
easiest
doubt.
island of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Easiest.
But I'm admittedly picking sympathetically with Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Look, don't fucking sugarcoat, dude. Don't talk about sympathy, dog. Just fucking commit, dude. Speak
I'm
with
not,
some
I'm not,
conviction.
against, I'm not against you guys. Like I
think we're gonna see the
I
Bengals
wouldn't
with the
care
ball
either
last.
way. Like I think it would be.
I think
great.
that's the tough part about this is that I think we all kind of generally like both teams, and so it's awesome to watch because we really doubted the fucking Chiefs, and now they're clear favorites, and as they should be.
Touchdown favorite in the championship.
I mean, dude, if fucking Joe Burrow, think about
playoff patty, baby.
If Joe
like,
Burrow
this is fun.
in his second season after getting his fucking knee destroyed, when everybody, we didn't confirm this earlier, but before you were here, Raul, we pretty much agreed that they were probably pegged to finish last in their division, maybe third, but definitely not first or second. If they can go to the Super Bowl, who in the fucking world could be mad at that? I don't see it is all. That's just me.
So let me ask you this, just a quick little let's go yes, no around the table. If he wins another Super Bowl, are you 100% sold on that 10-year deal he's got?
No.
Yes.
Still, I'm with you. No, that's no time. It's only been.
I think if you told any NFL GM that you're going to sign a quarterback to a 10-year $500 million deal and you're going to win 2 Super Bowls, I think every NFL GM takes it.
A lot of them might do it for one.
Hold on. I'm not fucking asking you like you own an NFL team, okay? I'm asking you.
You're asking me if I'm sold on the deal. I get 2 Super Bowls out of it?
Yeah, do you think that that's a fair trade? Like that's like, and that
Absolutely.
I'll do it for one. I'm alive.
2 Super Bowls. Like, there are franchises that ain't been to a fucking Super Bowl, and we're going to win 2?
Well, it's interesting that you said that 2 Super Bowls, 10 years, where I saw something just the other day where the Packers with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers now for close to 30 years now have 2 Super Bowls.
Right. And, here's the other thing is even if you so say you get 2 Super Bowls, say you get 1 Super Bowl, you go 10 years of barring injury, top tier play into the playoffs to some extent, 85-90% of the time.
Hey, just for the record,
it's gotta be worth it.
I did preface this question with simple yes or no. I just wanted to throw that.
When is it ever a simple yes or no?
Fuck, dude. Why, Stove? Why do I do this?
None of this stuff, dude.
And so here's where I'm at with it, since we've all gone off on a tangent.
No, simple yes or no.
Well, I already said my piece.
You know what, Andy? You've been speaking for the last fucking 10 miles, dog. You better shut your ass up.
Hey,
Stove,
I'm making
Stove is barely talking on this show, and no one else is noticing. So please, Stove.
Oh, no, it's all good.
Oh no, we know.
No.
I mean,
well, no.
Yes, I would love the 2 Super Bowls, but I think the 10 years and the amount of money given to one player through that 10-year contract. Yeah. I think it just handcuffs you. That's right. The reason why I went with I don't agree with it.
It's the long-term and high capital investment. Feels like a fucking anchor. If I'm thinking from the organizational level, I just don't want to commit to somebody that in 2 years from now could get hurt, and he's not even halfway through his fucking contract at that point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. It seems. For $500 million? Nah, you got me fucked up, dude.
Think about how much the NFL protects quarterbacks, though. Like, the investment in a quarterback is not the same risk as, say, investing in a wide receiver for $150 million.
Right. How many quarterbacks are winning Super Bowls in 10 years? We're going to see it with Pat. How many Super Bowls are quarterbacks winning in 10 years typically for the average, not the Tom Brady's, not the Aaron Rodgers, just
the average
the
market
wins value.
0 in 10 years.
Okay.
Because 2/3 of the league can't win a Super Bowl in 10 years.
Yikes.
Right. No, it's a good question.
Well, I mean, think about it. You have 32 teams in 10 years. Like 22 teams at a minimum, 22 teams aren't going to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Like,
I'm not talking about teams though. I'm talking about specifically quarterbacks. And now we're going to talk about investing 10 years into one.
But you've already won one with
crazy
that guy.
to me. Okay, one.
You said, give me another one. Is the deal worth it? I'm absolutely in.
Yeah, I'm out.
You give me a
not
second
for 10
one?
years. Because I signed him to a 10-year contract. 2 years in, he gets the second one, and then I got to go through this shit for 8 years when I could be rebuilding. Nah, I'm out.
I'm showing you these two fingers with the fucking rings on them, man. Like,
That's fun.
I think we're talking about two different things. Like, the pinnacle is winning the Super Bowl, right? If I can do that twice, that's worth more than $500 million.
I do want to consistently be good, though. And if I end up stuck with a shit quarterback for the back half of that 10-year contract,
but do you think Mahomes is going to be a shit quarterback, or do you think it's going to be hard to build around him with that guy?
No, I'm purely worried about. I think one, he's going to be hard to build around because Tyreek Hills don't just fucking grow on trees, and neither do Travis Kelce's. Also,
Look, I'm on record as saying, like, I don't think Mahomes is going to win another Super Bowl, and I'm probably going to eat that fucking crow this year, right? Like,
no, you're not.
No, because we picked Tiger King.
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, we didn't.
We did.
Sorry.
One person did.
Sorry.
But I okay, maybe not probably, but I could eat that crow this year. And I still say, like, give me 2 Super Bowls. I'm paying $500 million.
That's fine. You're soulless. I get it. I just want to stay relevant for more. I want to stay relevant and consistent.
I mean,
do you think they're going to be irrelevant with Mahomes at quarterback for the next 8 years? Even if
no.
Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
I think that if everything maintains the way it is now, sure, that's a valid argument. What I'm saying is that somebody who scrambles and makes things like left-handed passes and diving throws is probably susceptible to injury, and I'm not going to want to invest a decade into that quarterback. It's just, every fucking scrambling quarterback in history. Every single one, though.
That's a good point. I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying, you give me 2 Super Bowls. Like,
there's a difference between rushing quarterbacks and scrambling quarterbacks. Okay, so I think you're talking about a rushing quarterback.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this real quick.
The danger is still the same. It is somebody who is a quarterback who is not a fucking Tom Brady. He's not going to sit in the pocket.
So that's where I was going. Why didn't Tom Brady get a 10-year deal?
Because he was pretty selfless with that team.
I understand that, but
Mahomes can restructure his deal.
Well, it is a team-friendly restructurable deal for sure. Yeah, but. No, Stove, you're right. Like, guys like Brady, Rodgers, they don't sign those long deals because it's kind of not the standard, right? We didn't see a guy with a fully guaranteed contract in the NFL until Kirk Cousins signed one, right? It was non-standard. Right. We haven't seen a guy sign a 10-year deal in the NFL until Patrick Mahomes.
That's the other thing, where they offered those deals. Brady and Rodgers.
Sure.
I don't know if they were offered those deals.
I feel like Brady is in a situation in his career right now where he has more than enough money to just call it a career. He has more than enough fucking credentials and accomplishments and accolades to call it a career. And I feel like he's a kid on a fucking basketball court shooting threes like he loves to shoot, and they keep going in, so he keeps shooting them. And that's what it is.
But even at 27 with 3 Super Bowls, he wasn't offered that because he had a very frugal head coach / GM.
Right. So, but I want to specify the 3s that I'm talking about are not Super Bowl wins. I think that they're fucking contracts. I think it's large sums of money that he gets paid to play football. And
sure. And his wife makes $500 million a year. Like, she's the number 1 supermodel on the planet. So, like, money is not an object to that guy for sure.
Well, here's the other thing. I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes' brother anymore.
Oh my God, get that motherfucker out of here.
There. Yeah. So can we move on to
Yeah, dude, please. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Stove, you did not deserve this.
All right. Let's go to
Simple
salute.
yes or no question, guys.
It really was.
Let's go to salute to service.
God
We don't
damn
do
it, Stoke.
that.
Sorry, Andy.
All right, this episode, every single episode we have here on Backyard Blitz gets dedicated in our Folds of Honor salute to service, and this episode is going to be dedicated to Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Bunda, who passed away January 25th, 2004, serving during Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was 29 years old from Bremer, Washington, assigned to 2nd Battalion, 3rd Infantry, based in Fort Lewis. He passed away when his boat capsized during patrol on the Tigris River. Bunda was originally listed as duty status, whereabouts unknown. His remains were discovered February 10th. Army Staff Sergeant Christopher Bunda. We have the watch.
All right, let's shift gears, bring the energy back up here. Let's get to it. All right, our first Capper Facts has to do with the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the millennium. Josh Allen outplayed Patrick Mahomes despite losing the game. Let's start with Stove. Capper Facts on this, buddy.
I'm going to say facts on this one. Man, I truly believe he did. The way he was firing that pigskin late.
Love that reference.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he put it all out there. Facts.
Andy?
It's Cap. He lost the game. He lost the game. The stats are so fucking close. I mean, the QBR, the passer rating, the touchdowns, the yards, it's all so relative, and Mahomes won the game.
Raul?
So my first initial impression was like, all right, Josh was certainly more consistent throughout the game. We saw a fourth quarter push come out, and Irish Patty Mahomes showing up and getting it done. And then came the just point blank of, yeah, he fucking lost the game. So no, he didn't outplay Mahomes. And that's got to be it, man. I mean, look at 28-3, dude. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and all of his clutch drives. The greatest quarterbacks of all time are always revered by the fucking scoreboard and when they get it done. Mahomes outdid Allen, and a coin toss determined this victory. But either way, I mean, he still made it fucking happen when there was zero chance. So, yes, Cap.
They were so close in every statistic, though, too. Like, real quick. Allen was like 27 of 37. Mahomes was 33 of 44. 378 for Mahomes, 329 for Allen. Like, just marvelous game.
Right.
Yeah.
Show me first half stats versus second half stats, and look at that increase in Pat Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like, just clutch time. It's time to buckle the fuck down.
It's an unreal game.
That might be the best quarterback game we've ever seen.
Yeah. And for the reason Andy brought up, like, I'm not going to say that Mahomes outplayed Allen. I'm going to say Cap, but I'm going to say that they were both fucking unbelievable, right? That was the best quarterback game I can remember watching from the perspective of both teams. These were two studs punching back and forth.
Yes.
Like, this was fucking like
This was Rocky and
Dude,
yeah,
Drago,
this was
fucking A, man.
Yeah.
This was just an unbelievable game from two just ridiculous quarterbacks. And
Dude,
I'm
this was
not-
Gaethje Ferguson, dog.
Yeah,
This was
I mean,
fucking Jake Paul fucking.
nah.
don't do that. Don't do that. Stove, mute this
I'm
man
gonna say
right
cap,
now.
but I'm only gonna say that because I think they both were just unreal. This was two quarterbacks, this was two heavyweights just going at each other the whole game, and they both played perfect games. They both did, and it was the coin toss, right? Like coin toss decided the game, and then we talked about that. But I'm saying cap, but I'm only saying cap because they both essentially washed each other with how great they played. Both of them. It was unbelievable quarterback play from these two fucking studs. And I'm here for it. I want this to be a fucking rivalry.
And so for
I
that,
want
you
this
go to
game
the
in the
scoreboard.
playoffs. Yeah, for the scoreboard,
what it
sure.
is.
Like the Chiefs won, but this is cap because they both played incredibly. I want this game every year for the next fucking 8 years, honestly, in the playoffs. Every fucking whatever. But we saw the meme, right? Run it back. Let's play 7. Honestly, let's play fucking 7 because that shit was awesome. Hagler Hearns. That's the one I was trying. I had Hearns. I didn't have Hagler. Thank you, John.
Thanks,
I will
John.
commit that to memory.
I
had
Isn't it Hearns Martin?
Nah, Hagler Hearns is the slugfest.
Hey, you know what? You know what we
standing in
should
the
be
pocket.
talking about? The next Capper facts.
Yeah. Capper facts. Rodgers has played his last game in Green Bay.
Yup.
Stove?
Facts.
Oh!
Nope. Facts.
Jumping in.
That man is gone. That man is gone. Okay. And maybe we need to get into that later, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be initial impression, very surprised if he doesn't end up in some black and yellow.
Black and yellow. Ooh, that's a strong take. They don't have
Ooh,
room
it's
for
a
him.
perfect take.
They don't have the room for
They'll make room.
him. Stove?
I'm going facts on this one as well. I don't care if their relationship with Gutekunst is, repaired.
What a tough name to fucking pronounce, too. Well done.
Gutekunst.
I'll be honest.
well
I
done.
thought you were joking.
No,
I
that's
thought you had a fucking mild seizure.
Brian is his
He's
fucking
over here talking about
white
cheese.
bread
I'm
ass
so
first
glad I
name.
wasn't alone because I was confused as hell.
Here's the thing, and my buddy OJ and I were talking about this,
OJ.
and he's a big Bengals fan.
Don't fit.
Yep. We were talking about how different Aaron Rodgers is compared to a lot of the other quarterbacks, and just the way he goes
A lot of the
about
other
things.
humans on planet.
Yes, that too. That too. And we were even talking about him and his engagement to Shailene Woodley and how we haven't really heard her or anything ever since the whole immunized thing came out. We haven't heard much from her. They don't do a lot of social media stuff, blah, 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 this and that. I think
Is she still alive?
who knows? But I think Rodgers is the type of guy that truly doesn't give a fuck and will literally just retire. I don't even think I like your pick, Raul, on the Steelers. I have him, if he does play again, it's not with Green Bay. It's either with the Steelers or the Saints.
Ooh.
Now, the
They're in
interesting,
worse cap hell.
yeah, I know.
Hold on, I've actually got the numbers on my
but
phone.
now with Sean,
I swear to God, I
Sean
saved the image for this exact moment. Oh
but
my God.
that was those were my two teams, but that was before Sean Payton was stepping away.
Yeah.
So now I truly believe that he either stays in Green Bay or the Steelers, just with that defense, with the offense and everything else. But to make a long story short here, this is facts. Sorry for
Can't read that.
No. I'm just trying to prove to you that I have the graphic. This is the
That might be
Cap
porn
numbers.
the highest
numbers.
caps.
and
Yeah,
Dallas is second.
Dallas is third.
Oh,
Calm
third?
your
Okay,
tits.
who was first?
So Giants is 5 million under, or over. Sorry, Vikings are 12 million over. Cowboys 21, Packers 38,
Saints.
and Saints
71.
71. Dude,
71.
Does anyone know
they
why the
going
Vikings are so far
buck
over?
wild with the credit
Fucking
card.
Kirk
Dude.
Cousins.
Kirk's cap number is big in
Fucking
2022.
Cuck Cousins.
That's why I'm
Fuck
talking
is-
about cutting him.
You know what I mean?
His dead cap number isn't big. His
That's
salary
wild,
is.
bro.
Cucky Cousins.
They would be 70 million in the green.
70. Woo! That's rough. Andy, cap facts, Rodgers, Green Bay.
I'm going opposite of what Aaron Rodgers' Vax card is, and I'm going facts because his shit is a fucking lie. This guy is fucking. Get your foot off the thing.
Where's
dude.
he going, dude?
He's going.
Where?
He's going. You're both wrong.
Where?
You're both
Where?
wrong. I'm trying
Okay.
to tell you, but you
The
won't
land-
let me. You fucking talk more than
Miami.
anybody. God damn it. No, you know
I
what?
get
That'd be
blamed
great.
for this shit
Ooh.
every week.
I think he'd look great in the fucking teal and orange. However,
Facts.
this dude is going to follow Peyton Manning.
Yep.
And he's going to Denver.
Yep.
It makes sense.
So is Devontae Adams.
No, Devontae Adams is
Yep.
staying. They're gonna franchise tag him.
They're going to
They
franchise and trade him.
They have the money. They have the defense.
Yep.
They can run the ball a little. They
They
can
got
protect.
a great running back.
I mean, obviously it's a cop out. That's an easy one. It just makes a lot of sense.
In 2 years, Javonte Williams might be the best back in football.
Right. Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
He already has the highest missed tackle rate.
Okay. I
Besides
don't care
Derrick
about
Henry?
that. Like, I don't.
No, he actually has a higher missed tackle rate than Derrick Henry.
Hey, what about
Crazy.
the Seahawks?
Crazy. Nope.
No, I don't.
No.
No. What makes you say no?
They're rebuilding.
Because fucking Pete Carroll is so old that he's one of them.
He's
dudes that
out of
has-
there too.
He has
He's
that
gone.
white shit
He's
that just
gone.
fucking accumulates, and
From
it's not
chewing
quite
gum.
spit
Hey,
or
the
mayonnaise.
difference in cap space between the Broncos and the Seahawks is literally 2 million. It's 44 million and 42 million.
I feel like the Seahawks are one of those franchises, kind of like
They're not ready
You know,
to win.
the
Are you trying to
Patriots
tell me that,
or the
that Tyler
Buccaneers.
Lockett, DK Metcalf, everybody that's over there right now would not
They've
stick
got an
around if
awful
Aaron Rodgers
defense
showed up
and
to the
no
locker
running
room?
game.
right? And nobody wants to live in Seattle because this isn't 1993.
Okay, first off, that's actually my argument to the contrary is that Aaron Rodgers with this the fiance is that's like they're made for that. Is like
yeah, but
misery and
there's
and
nothing
bad
there
weather.
anymore though. Like it's that scene is fucking busted now.
Yeah,
is
now
it?
it's just really expensive to live there.
It is. Yeah, it's
Right.
fairly expensive.
And who
It
better
rains-
than
Yeah.
people with money?
Fun
It rains-
fact: I actually sat across the
It rains
aisle
at
from
Bud.
Shailene Woodley on my way to Hawaii 4 years
Did you
ago.
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Was
Yep.
she on that like teenager pregnant show then?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what show you're talking about.
she got famous off a show for being fucking knocked up when she was like 9 or some shit. I don't fucking.
No.
Bro, you
It's
literally
Teen
said
Mom or
teenager.
something, right?
I don't know.
Christ.
It wasn't teen. I don't remember what the fuck it was. It was some like weird Lifetime show or
16
some
and
shit.
expecting.
Dude, my wife watches weird shit. It wasn't a reality show. It was like one of them fucking like weird corny ass fucking.
Did she kill her husband?
I don't think she had a husband. This fucking chick was going to fucking earth science.
Anyway, cap or facts. I'm going to finish up here. Rodgers has played his last game in Green Bay. Yes, and so has Devontae Adams. I think that Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers
Spoiler
are a
alert.
package deal, and they're going to Denver. And I think it's going to be 3 firsts, 2 twos, and maybe a couple of players.
She said a
Judy-
package deal. What do they share a bank account like the Morris fucking twins or what?
I mean, they've made it pretty apparent that both of them consider themselves as a package deal.
That's so weird.
Aaron has already said his decision might have a little to do with Devontae Adams' situation. So
Well, no
Not a
shit.
stretch.
That's not. Hold on. You're taking that out of context. The interview
not
where he
taking it out
talked.
of
No,
Get
you're
him.
not. No, you
Yes,
absolutely
you are.
are.
Please
Because
get
the
him.
interview where he said that was he said my decision will have an influence on Devontae's is because it's simple. If I leave Green Bay, Do I think that one of the greatest receivers in the NFL right now is going to stick around for some fucking scrub? Or are you going to try to get sent over to someone else? That's what he meant. I watched that entire interview. That's exactly how he meant that.
I gotta agree with Raul. I think that
don't fucking play with me, Gary. I got time for you today.
Adams, if Rodgers is gone, Adams is like, nope.
Adams said that in week 1.
I'm not saying he's opposed to Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying that that's not what Aaron meant.
I heard actually Adams, if he doesn't play with Rodgers, he prefers Jared Goff. That was a rumor.
Really chance, bud.
I'm not. That's not even like a joke.
Yo, links or it didn't happen.
Okay, I'm lying.
Yeah, that's what I
got.
thought.
Facts.
That'd be cool though, right?
Got facts. Brady's back next year with the Bucks. Stove, since Raul stole your thunder last time.
No, it's good. I am going.
No, he's not.
Cap.
Wow.
Is he back in the NFL?
Nope.
So you've got him retiring. Swan song, it's over. That loss to the Rams.
The blood on the lip, like that was the last straw.
That's it, man. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Nobody.
Yo, Kylie Jenner already made that a shade of fucking lipstick.
Okay.
My wife probably ordered that shit already.
Oh shit.
Brady.
Yes.
Raul, is Brady back with the Bucks next year?
Fuck no, dude.
Is he back in the NFL?
I think he's done. I think he's done. I don't know. I mean, who else would he go to? I mean, he's going to be in the same market that Aaron Rodgers is going to be in. So, I couldn't think of it. Yeah, I don't know of a team that would want to take on that kind of responsibility, or that he would even be wanting to invest in like that. You know, he kind of got. The
Bucks
kind
were
of
ready-made.
Right. Who else is ready-made that can make that happen aside from the Dallas Cowboys? Because apparently they're invested in Dak and they're insisting
Cowboys are
on
not ready-made for Brady. Jesus Christ, let's stop fucking crowbarring the Cowboys in the conversation.
Yo, it's.
I'm not. Hold on.
The
I'm not
Lions
saying
are
they're
getting
ready-made for
Adams and
Brady. I'm just saying that they have weapons in all the right places. So, fucking tone it down, bud.
The Lions next year. Brady,
Your
Adams,
fucking team
and Gronk.
still doesn't have a name.
They have weapons to win in the NFC East. Fucking woo!
Oh.
Andy, Cap facts. Brady's back with the Bucks.
That's facts. It's facts. He'll be back. He's going to be with the Bucks. Why would he be done? He's not done yet. He's good. Bud looks good still. I mean, there's no. I don't really see any issues. I don't see any drop off from last season. I think we're fine. Why would
Dude,
he?
He finished the season leading the league in yards and touchdowns. At 44.
Listen, I don't
Dude's
think
not human.
I don't think he has much going on besides football. I really don't. I think he's a Kobe Bryant type of person.
Yeah.
Football is his
I think Giselle figured that out after 2012.
And I mean,
she's either along for the ride or she's in the way.
I don't think he.
Who else could say that about a fucking supermodel?
What would be the point right now? He's not having issues. Okay, so like Peyton Manning had the neck thing that was affecting his throwing. Brees had the thing, he couldn't throw the ball anymore. Like we're not seeing that with Brady yet. So why go away? Other than like you don't love the game anymore, and I just don't think that's the case with him. I think he still wants to be there. Like, he's not washed. Roethlisberger, obviously, he's done. He's washed. I don't see it with Brady. So what would be the point?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on whether this is cap or facts, and not because I don't think Brady's back next year. I think he plays next year. I'm just curious whether it's with the Bucks or if he tries to find another place he can kind of just make a run and have some fun. I think it's with the Bucks, so I'm going to go facts with this. I think that they have received him in the way that he wanted New England to treat him. Belichick was a fucking dickhead and never gave Brady any credit for anything, treated him as the whipping boy to show the young guys, I'll yell at anybody, right? So Tampa has treated him the opposite. Gronk has already said that his decision doesn't depend on whether Brady retires or not. So I think both of them are back. I think Brady's back with the Bucs next year. They're going to have some issues with cap and trying to figure out how to get that team back in a place to compete. So, yeah, of course, she's eating a little food and the supermodels.
God forbid.
For sure. But I'm facts on this. I think Brady's back, and I think he's back with the Bucs. I think he's in a good place. I think he's treated like a king, and I think that means a lot to him. So,
Yes.
Could you fucking imagine Tom Brady singing fucking "Long Neck Beers Never Let Me Down"? Jesus Christ. That'd be fucking incredible.
I don't know what's more offensive, the idea of him doing that or the fact that you butchered that song title.
Oh, I did. I destroyed that song title. Long Neck Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart. I blew it.
Jesus.
We're on the same page.
It's a fucking tough go, bud. On to the next
All
one.
right. Cat facts. Besides the opening weekend of March Madness, this past weekend's games were fucking unbelievable. Best games played to date in our fucking lifetime.
Come on.
Stove.
What are we
This was
talking
your
about?
question. What do you got, buddy? Is this the pinnacle?
I swear to God.
Is it all
Stover,
downhill
if you
from
say
here?
Cap, I swear to
Is
God.
this all downhill from here?
It's downhill.
Oh, it's facts. God
This is
damn.
facts.
Okay.
This
I
was
swear to
facts.
God, if you're gonna
Now,
say
Have
Cap,
nothing
dude.
to look forward to.
Now, don't get me wrong, there's been some good games played, but to get 4 games, every single one of them a walk-off victory, and the nightcap, and we've talked about it numerous times already tonight, that nightcap, that was a true nightcap. Facts.
I like
Yeah.
it. Andy, was this the best weekend?
You're stupid if you have to think about this. You're so dumb, dude. You're the dumbest human being on earth if you have to think about this.
It's fucking jury tampering, fucking witness intimidation. What are we doing here? I'm gonna go facts. I've seen a lot of good
Yeah, you're right.
championship weekends, March Madness type shit. Really good. The biggest difference I would draw from like a March Madness, which is what we're comparing this to, would be we're not talking pro level competition. So I would definitely give the nod. Three field goals at 4 seconds, tinfoil hats, and then the nightcap, the old whiskey rocks. Fucking A, kids. Bask in it.
Bask in the glory. Raul,
Oh,
you've been
dude.
tampering with the jury. You better fucking say
Come on,
facts.
bro. That shit's Cap. No, I'm just kidding. No, this is absolutely facts. I mean, come on. Yeah. We may never see this shit again. I hope we do, but goddamn, this was awesome. I mean, this weekend is going to go down in history. We are going to refer to this weekend as something. It's going to happen.
We're like
No
Boston sports fans, man.
Yeah.
Right now. If you've been a Boston sports fan in the last decade
You know
and a half,
nothing but championships.
nothing but great.
Yeah.
Those
Look,
fucks.
I'm with you guys. I'm in. This is facts. Like, this is as Raul put it, this is once in a lifetime, man. Like, for a full slate of fucking games to decide who has a chance at the fucking Super Bowl. I like the ticker. Antonio Brown suing Tampa Bay. We get that at the end of this weekend. But facts, man. Like, this was unreal. Every game was a walk-off. Like, you just can't script it any better than every single game of the weekend coming down to the very, very last play. So, facts. Unreal. What a great weekend. And it was high quality football too, on a lot of levels, which made it even better. It wasn't like a bunch of slop games that just came down to the last play. This was high quality football that was decided on walk-offs all weekend. All right, moving on to our last cat facts here. Burrow, Joey B, Tiger King, Joey Football is already among the elite company of quarterbacks in year 2. And we're talking elite, right? That's a pretty special word because there's a lot of great quarterbacks. There's good quarterbacks. Elite is something we reserve for very, very special people. Raul, is Joe Burrow among that very special company already in year 2?
So when I think of elite company of quarterbacks, there being 32 teams, I'm thinking the top 10, something in that realm. Tiger King is top 10, dude. And it's not a hot take. It's really not, because you've never seen this level of understanding of the game of football this early. And I don't think that Cincinnati is built well enough to produce the results that we've seen without him. And there's not many quarterbacks that can do as good or better than him with what he has. Jamar Chase is next level. He's got next level running. He's got next level receiving. He's got some help on the defense. Like it's all well put together, but there's not many quarterbacks who you could say could go into that offense and make it work the way it does. And Joey B is absolutely, like, if you haven't bought in him back in LSU, you're fucking behind the curve, guy. Like, get out of here with that shit, dude. Joey B is the future, and he is here. It's sick.
Andy? And I think Aaron, hold on, before you get there, I think Aaron makes a good point, right? Elite is kind of an interpretation, right? I think there's
that's why I qualified my answer. I'm
Sure.
saying he's a top 10 quarterback.
I think there's possibility that if you think there's 10 elite quarterbacks in the NFL, whatever, right? But elite is a special word that we reserve for certain people at a certain level, right? And top 5, sure, top 2 if there's only 2 elite quarterbacks, whatever it is. But Aaron makes a good point. Elite is open to interpretation, and I think you have to really justify somebody being elite for sure. And you did a good job, Raul. But Andy, on you, Cat Facts.
I disagree with Aaron. I think I agree maybe with his point, but I disagree with like putting a number on it. I don't know that you can put a number on it. However, my number is much less forgiving, I think, than Raul's. He says like 10. I think there's 4 elite quarterbacks right now. I don't think that 4 is the number. I think that there's 4 currently. I think we're talking Brady. I think we're talking Rodgers. I think we're talking Mahomes. I think we're talking Josh Allen. I think those are the 4 elite quarterbacks. I think Joe Burrow is in the next tier with like a Justin Herbert, like Matt Stafford, guys of that nature. So I'm going Cap. Nothing against Tiger King. I like him. Again,
we're basically saying the same shit. You're just not calling it elite. Yeah. I'm saying top 10's elite. You're saying top 4's elite. Yeah.
Top 10. I just don't think that elite has an actual number. I think there could be 1 elite. I think there could be 20 elite. It just, there probably could be 20 elite because then that would be the majority. However, I just think it's and everybody's number is going to be a little different. However, Raul, you are elite in my mind.
Elite. Joe Flacco level. Elite.
Appreciate you, boy.
Stove, is the Tiger King among the elite company of quarterbacks?
So when we think about this, I agree with both Raul and Andy here. Because there is no you ask each person and their elite number is different. But also you have to me, elite means over time as well. last year his season got cut short because of injury, and so this is the first season that we're truly seeing Joe Burrow at a full season and with a new playmaker on the offensive side as well. Do I agree that he is top 10? Absolutely. Do I agree he's top 4? No. I agree with you, Andy. Those 4 quarterbacks that you mentioned are elite right now.
Where do you have Kirk Cousins?
Bottom. Yeah, out of the top 10.
He's a power bottom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But going back to what I first said, to me, elite is over time. And so just because Burrow has led the Bengals and company to the playoffs and their first playoff win in modern text message history, I don't want to put that on him right now. If he can sustain this level of success year 3, year 4, then absolutely I will consider him elite. Everyone wanted to make the comparison between Mahomes and Brady and going, back-to-back Super Bowls and going to the AFC championships. He's not there yet. He hasn't won, multiple Super Bowls. Joey Burrow has not made it. This is his first 2 playoff wins. He hasn't won an AFC championship yet. He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
That's fair.
So for right now, I am saying cap.
So I want to go to Stove's barbecue because he likes to let the shit marinate. Like that's my guy. Like there's no just fucking. Some of you motherfuckers take the fucking steak out of the fridge, you toss that bitch right on the grill.
Mm-mm.
You know,
I can't do it.
Yeah, sous vide that shit, baby.
Oh my
Can't
god, dude! We got to have a whole show about that.
Let's do it.
Because I had that over the holidays for the first time in my life, and
It's a game changer.
That will change everything for you.
Yes, it will.
If you never had sous vide fucking meat, like you're missing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're all missing it.
What do you New Yorkers say? You got a dump in your pants?
No, we don't say that.
I guess that's a Boston thing, maybe.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Yeah, that's not New York.
That is a
Whatever, dude. You're all way the fuck up.
That is
there.
a
You're the
Peter
same
McNeely exclusive, and he's from fucking Medford, Mass.
Yeah, he
We'll
is.
talk about that a different time. You got a big dump in your pants. Yeah, we don't do that here. No.
I've heard a few people aside from that video.
Now we beat the
say
shit
that.
out of people that say stuff like that.
That's crazy. I'm gonna find it, but we definitely have an episode where you said that. You said those words. Swear to God.
Right, probably quoting Peter McNeely.
That's fun. But don't be saying that he's not.
He follows
the only
me
one.
on TikTok. It's weird.
Nice.
I think the most concerning part of that is that you have a TikTok and
I think it's
and
so concerning
you're
that you don't
40.
get on. You don't. I'm not fucking Christ, dude. I'm not 40.
Whatever, dude.
God,
We're closing in.
relax.
Yeah.
But Jesus
You're on the
Christ,
back
dude.
nine
You're
of the
on
30s.
this? Come on, bud. I mean, fuck, man.
Come on,
All right,
guys.
I'll finish up here.
Yo,
I'm
The only 2 things I know that come from Texas.
you ain't got horns.
I don't
bud.
see no horns, baby.
yeah. Original. You're
Very.
so good, dude.
I am. Listen, I'm fucking
Clown.
Brian.
Fucking clown.
All right, Joe Burrow. To me, what makes me answer this question as facts is the fact that free agents have already said, "I'm going to Cincinnati because they have a quarterback." Okay, I think Joe Burrow's talent puts him in that elite company. The way he manages the game, the coolness you see from him. People call him Joe Cool. Stop fucking doing that because that was Joe Montana. You fucking idiots. Be fucking original. All right. But the fact that free agents are already saying, "I'm going to Cincinnati because of Joe Burrow," that tells me that other NFL talent views him as an elite fucking dude in this league. If you can attract guys just by fucking taking a breath in the city of Cincinnati, fucking Cincinnati, man.
You don't even have a practice facility.
Yeah.
When has that ever
It's
been
outdoors.
a destination?
Yo, the
For
Ohio
any
River
fucking
smells
free
like
agent.
shit.
Only people that enjoy
That Ohio River stinks.
Cincinnati
Right.
only
When-
ever really attracts chili enthusiasts.
Right.
That's about it.
You're
Yo,
bringing NFL
who
free
the
agents
fuck
there
is this
just
dude?
because you exist in that city.
Who the fuck is John?
I'm in,
Bro, he's
Yo,
trying
this
to
dude's
hop
been-
in on that OnlyFans, boy.
John's been with us for a while, bud.
John's been with us for a while.
Yeah.
On the
Get with the
tailgate,
program
especially.
and read the comments, my
But
guy.
I don't listen.
seriously, that's what-
I don't go through the comments. Like,
Bro,
here's the
you
thing.
just have to watch the screen. Like they literally, like Stove post them for us, my guy.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't get
mean
easier.
it doesn't mean
I
know
don't
who
have the
this is.
comments up either. I'm just
I don't know
watching
who-
what he does.
I don't know who this dude is. You got fucking 2 capital letters in your last name, bro. Like, don't fucking at me. Come on.
But anyway, that's what to me this is fact
that shit
because
is French as fuck.
Joe Burrow's attracting talent to the city of Cincinnati. Fucking Cincinnati, right? This isn't LA, this isn't Vegas, this isn't New York City. He's attracting people to the fucking armpit of the Midwest, Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm in. Facts. Joe Burrow's elite. Give me 5, 6,
And a house
5.
divided.
5.
Yeah.
5 elite quarterbacks in the NFL this year.
Okay. You got Burrow in the 5.
Is there
spot.
more?
I've got Burrow in the 5
I
spot.
like it. Where do you got Herbert?
I've got Herbert
In the 7.
sniffing, maybe 6 or 7, somewhere around there. He's sniffing.
He's a Yankee.
Dude's got to
Sniffing
win a
it.
big game. The biggest thing with Herbert is that the
Your
dude doesn't
fucking
win big
sister's
games.
cold, dude. Get back to bed.
Hey, let's move on to the next one.
All right, let's move
Still
on.
save us here,
dude. Thanks, Haskins.
Oh God,
Jesus.
that fucking mug.
All right,
That
I'm gonna
mug.
pass over to Stove. What you got for this week?
Thanks, Haskins. Really didn't have much until the overtime. And this is where I think we can all agree on that we want to see something changed about it to where both teams get a chance. And for that, thanks, Haskins.
Yeah, I like that. Andy?
We touched on this a little bit earlier. Aaron Rodgers, you have lost now 4 times to the same fucking team in the playoffs. You are an elite level quarterback, one of the best, and you cannot beat the San Francisco 49ers. You, sir, are the weakest link. Goodbye. Thanks, Haskins.
Raul, what you got, buddy?
I'm not even shocked at how many people are hopping off of this Aaron Rodgers bandwagon, man. I'm still on it, and I feel like now it's just because same reason why I'm a Cowboys fan, because I'm a glutton for punishment.
You're the
thanks,
band
Haskins.
playing on the Titanic while it's going down.
Fuck's sake, dude. Women and children all gone. The other guy, I have a child. Like, he's there. They're all gone. It's just me. My fucking
Drumming the
trombone.
banjo.
Yeah,
Do-do-do-do-do.
I don't think that was on a classy
There was no
vessel.
fucking banjo.
I don't
On
give
a
a fuck
classy
whether
vessel.
there was a
I don't
banjo
think
on
there
the
was a
Titanic.
Hello, my guy. Like, try.
No,
You know,
I wanted
just
to
try.
fucking-
You know,
I
just
wanted
try.
a dueling. I wanted a
sometimes.
dueling banjo.
I'm sure that shit was some like
Anyways.
violins and stuff. Like,
Anyway,
he said
Raul.
my guy said a banjo.
I don't even remember the fucking Capper facts at this point. I'll be honest. Like, we got off on such a tangent.
Thanks, Haskins.
It's thanks,
Oh,
Haskins.
thanks, Haskins. My bad. No, my thanks, Haskins goes very simply to the shitty overtime rules, but only because we have to deal, and Stove kind of alluded to it, we have to deal with Mahomes' brother, and even worse, we've got to deal with the ball and chain.
The mediocre looking bitch.
Oh, dude.
Hard
Okay
three.
as shit,
Hard
dude. Not
Most
even.
okay, bro.
Hard 3.
Bro, like a fucking Cincinnati 3.
Oh,
Dude.
oh my God, guy, I got you. I love it. I love it. The Cincinnati reference is everything. Thank you so much, Rice.
Dude, even a Kansas City 3, same thing.
Oh, dude.
Nah.
Yo, she's pouring champagne.
No, they're both
on
shitholes.
people.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, she's a fucking Alabama 6.
Yeah,
like even her.
No,
brother
but the
was like,
cringiness is the worst part, dude.
Yeah.
It's all miserable. It really is. And poor Patty, you know. But it's self-inflicted too, I guess.
Yeah, he's done it to himself.
Right.
He's just breeding.
He chose her. Like at least his brother, he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but he keeps
like,
giving the motherfucker tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Cut it out, dude. I'll tell my brother no. Fuck.
Right, right. It's not for you to
I mean,
go,
I
but-
just feel like Pat's probably, I mean, just based off of what we've seen, you know, in the social media, seeing the leaks, the videos of him, like, just kind of idly being on the side as shit goes down. I mean,
Oh, they definitely do. Right down fucking.
Yo,
dude,
Boulevard.
Calluses
Yo,
for
Harambe,
days, dog.
Harambe died at the Cincinnati Zoo.
He
It's
did.
true.
He did.
She did. So,
Yo, this dude Harambe. Got me. I seen that dude like twice.
Dicks out.
yeah,
I was at that zoo a couple
that's a
times.
lot. Let's move on.
Gary?
My thanks Haskins has nothing to do with Harambe, but
Shit.
my
Thank
my
God.
thanks Haskins for the weekend is fucking Sean Hockley, man. Like, why do we have to deal with this week in and fucking week out with the NFL? Like, why are these officiating crews getting into the playoffs? They're there thinking we're watching. I'm not watching you, bro. Like, I don't want to see you. If I went the entire game without having to see your dumb ass in a fucking zebra costume on the camera, I'm happy. I don't want to fucking see you. Just officiate the game, regulate the fucking game the way you are supposed to do your fucking job, and shut the fuck up. I don't want to see you out here calling unsportsmanlike conduct because your fucking feelings got hurt. If you hadn't fucked the call up in the first place, nobody would be talking to you. And for that, thanks, Haskins.
Tell us
All
how you
right.
really feel.
That last.
Sorry, I
John.
jumped the gun on you there, Raul. Go ahead.
John, that last name is not something south of the Mason-Dixon unless you're from Louisiana. So
Louisiana, buddy.
I need
He
you
is
Get
to.
from Louisiana.
Okay, good. I was gonna say you need to fucking identify yourself, otherwise get your fake ass on out. Because I ain't. You're either from the south or you're not. Or you're not. And
Louisiana.
all right, fine.
All right,
Cajuns
Andy, what's your
are out.
damn K for this week?
I don't even remember.
Hell yeah, brother.
I might. Oh, hold on. No, go to somebody else.
Raul?
Oh wait, no, I remember.
All right.
Jesus,
Get after it,
I'm a
buddy.
mess.
we got it, dude. We got it.
My damn K. Irish Patty Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. 13 seconds. 13 seconds to get in there, which was 1 fucking second less than Dak Prescott's run to lose a motherfucking game. And for that, damn K. Sorry, boys.
Stove? You got
So,
this week.
I am going to go with all 4 games as a collective whole and the fans of those games. We as fans should be appreciative of what we just saw this past weekend, because that will not come around probably in the next 10, 15 years or so. Like that's one of those eclipse things that doesn't happen very often.
That's Haley's comment.
Yeah. So for this past weekend of phenomenal games, damn, Kay.
Okay. With that fucking messy bun.
Raul?
Messy bun.
I'll be honest. There is a lot that you could damn K to this week. Honestly, there really is. I've got a few things that came off the top of my head, but with Gary not having gone yet. All right now, baby. I see you. All right. He said, I appreciate these.
Put that on a cracker, dude.
Put that on a cracker, dude. Oh, man. You barely know about that shit. Calm down, bro. You ain't never met it in person.
I know all about it.
Bro, I'm best man to a Cajun boy from
Ponchatoula
this weekend.
I know about it. I know about it because of TikTok.
Yeah, that's right. You fake as hell, bro. I'm over here. I'm best man to a Cajun boy from Ponchatoula this weekend. Come on.
Jesus, you're best man.
We out here, baby. Wedding. We out here, my Cajun boys. Anyways, so my damn K, it was a tough one, honestly. But it's going to go to fucking Big Dick Brandon McPherson. Dude, calling the shot before it goes down. Come on. Come on, dude. Well, we're going to the AFC Championship. Come on, dude. I was torn, but that is definitely my damn K for the week.
Barely got to learn the internet.
What?
Yeah, see, I don't even know what that means. You were not
weird.
really
that got weird.
That was way too close.
That's a Cajun reference, bro. Like, it's not even offensive. Y'all are so white that you're uncomfortable.
Don't say y'all are so white.
Oh, it's so funny. That
anyway,
is hilarious.
My damn
anywhere other than the cesspools of fucking Texas, Louisiana border. That we don't fucking think that means something cute.
We're just not sensitive to the shit.
Yourself and that beard. Fucking step back, everyone. Well, you know, I know that fucking has a fucking G on the end of it. Calm down, pal.
All right. So my damn K of the moment of the week comes after the moment that Raul just mentioned with Mr. McPherson telling Joey B, well, I guess we're going to the AFC Championship game. And then Joey B standing in front of the media and the nation and saying, listen, that underdog narrative is fucking old. It ain't happening around here anymore. The Bengals are here to fucking play. They're here to fucking win. We're not having that shit anymore. And for that, Joey B with that big dick, big cigar energy. Damn, okay.
Damn.
Tell him, buddy.
Honorable mention, damn K, to Matt Stafford for just fucking this year,
piece?
dude. Where we're at right now.
Rainbow?
Where we're at right now, just clocking it and getting it fucking done.
Yeah,
Maddie,
sure.
we're here for you, dude.
All right. That wraps up the show. I'm going to pass it around. Raul, you got any closing statements?
No, that's it, dude. Maddie, fucking get it done, dude. Put the Niners out of their fucking misery. They're garbage. Jimmy G's garbage.
Get it done, Matty Ice. Big Stove, closing statements.
Tiger King. Enough said.
Andy?
Yo. Francis Ngannou wins a fucking fight that's a wrestling match.
Yo.
Yeah.
No, listen. No sleeping button.
Evolution.
We never saw this coming. And his contract's dead.
Yep.
Plus, the dude made $650K, while dudes we never heard of in Bellator are making $1 million for winning a fight. So, Uncle Danny, you're in fucking trouble, pal.
Fucking
Uncle Dana wouldn't even put the belt on him.
Yeah.
That's how mad.
Yeah.
Big
Because
he's
a scumbag. Listen, there's champions in Bellator that like most people don't even know about because they don't watch Bellator. Yeah. Making $1 million for a title defense. Yeah. So, Uncle Dana, fuck yourself.
Open the pocketbook.
Pay the man, Dana.
Yeah, Dana White's from Louisiana.
No, the fuck he's not.
Yeah, he is.
We would
really
ne-
is.
Hey,
dude,
Bayou would never claim him. It's facts. That's facts all day. He ain't Bayou affiliated.
He ain't New York affiliated, I tell you. Anyway, my closing statement is
from Maine.
For the
Vermont, dude.
Rhode Island. Bro, the fuck out of here.
Baseball Writers Association. Y'all can suck 3 dicks from the back with that fucking result today. David Ortiz, who was on the Marshall Report with Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, who did not make the Hall of Fame, and you fucking elect David Ortiz? Kiss the fattest part of my fucking ass. Y'all should have all of your fucking credentials revoked. It was embarrassing that Mariano Rivera was the first unanimous vote, despite Ken Griffey Jr. having one jackass not vote for him. And Derek Jeter, the Walt Weiss of New York City, being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Why is he slandering the Yankees?
Dude's an afterthought. Because these writers have some sort of weird fucking infatuation with the
I was with you. I was riding with you for a minute. And then
Kiss my
You just kept dick
ass.
riding New York. Like, what's going on?
Yo, Mickey Mantle used
First
them feathers.
Mariano.
Let's take
No,
him
now
out.
you're still doing it. I was
I
with
am.
you. I was like, damn, Gary, get him. I'm with you. And then,
Absolutely.
then you were like, fucking
Fuck
Babe
the
Ruth had
Baseball
herpes.
Writers Association.
Fucking-
None of you,
it's like
none of
Joe-
you should have
Joe
a fucking
DiMaggio raped a
kiss
kid.
my ass.
Gary,
Anyway,
like I'm with
for
you.
Big
You know, Mike
Stove,
Piazza was.
for Andy,
That's
Piazza
the
didn't play
Mets.
for the Yankees.
God
For
damn it.
Raul,
It's
this has
fucking
been the
New
Blitz.
York, guy.
We are out.
Fuck Louisiana.